Happy Sunday. It feels great to be back for a classic watch along because we missed last week due to AEW Revolution, but now we are back kicking it with some WrestleManias since it's WrestleMania season. And tonight we are doing WrestleMania 2000, WrestleMania 16. Not the best WrestleMania. A lot of people consider this one of the worst, but we need to get to it at some point. And I put up a poll on YouTube the other day asking you guys to choose between two really shitty WrestleManias, WrestleMania 15, which I was at in Philly, and WrestleMania 16, and this one won by an overwhelming margin. So we are here to do WrestleMania 16. I remember very little about this show. It took place right up the road for me in Anaheim. From what I understand, there isn't a singles match on this entire show. This is triple threats and quadruple threats and four ways and six ways and battle royals and all sorts of crazy stuff going on this show. I have a lot of fond memories of it. This pay-per-view had an 8-hour-long pre-show, which they aired all day, which you could pay extra for, which I did. And that was awesome. And I had a lot of fond memories of the show, but maybe the show itself, the execution didn't work so well, wasn't so great for many of us. And it's still, I think, going to be fun to take a look back at this one and to remember a lot of stuff that I don't remember, because I don't remember the last time I've even gone back and taken a look at the show at all, because it's a shitty WrestleMania. So it should be good. It should be fun. Hopefully you guys are having a great afternoon, a great Sunday. Let me just make sure I can be seen and heard. Right on. We're looking good there. Good to see everybody in here. I'll start with some channel members. Leo Whalen, good to see you. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Zane G is in the house too. So Zach Tatanani in the house as well. We have Deshaun Robinson is here. The Juliet is here. Let's see who else. We have George Morris chiming in with $5. Thanks, dude. Hey, Greg, how are you doing? WrestleMania 2000, 0 out of 10. No singles matches, but how about WrestleMania 14 and Raw After Mania 14 25th anniversary for both? Yeah, I didn't realize that. We are going to be doing a members only watch along 1 week from today, and I'm pretty much decided on the one we're going to do. We're going to do the night after WrestleMania 14 in 1998, after the last night of the Winged Eagle title. The new DX formed that night, and it was a pretty big night in the business. X-Pac came back. Sean Waltman came back to WWE. Lots of stuff happening that night, and it was a crazy one. So I think we're going to watch that 1 week from today prior to whatever WrestleMania we do next week. And we'll talk a little bit about that. WrestleMania 8 is on my list, maybe even WrestleMania 30, 22, 23. We got a few of them on the list. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out, and we'll get it settled very soon. Let's see. Alan Carter's in the house as well. I just want to hit all the channel members first. Michael Cuomo, very good to see you. And we've got Jeff McMahon in the house as well. And Fox Star Killer. He's sorry, not going to be able to participate in the watch along tonight. I've got to be up to be at work at 6 in the morning. Damn, I'm sorry, buddy. Was really hoping to share my rebooking of the show with you all. Well, that's a shame, man. Get some sleep. Good luck at work tomorrow. And we all lost an hour for those of you who live here in the States. And I think 48 out of the 50 states do daylight savings time. So we lost an hour, sprung ahead 1 hour last night in the middle of the night. So we can get some extra daylight now, which means we all lost a little bit of sleep. And if you work today or tomorrow, it might affect you a little bit. I understand. Best of luck to you, Fox Star Killer. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to circle back and say hello to William Gilbert. We've got Wilbert Reed in the house. WWE fan is here as well. We are pro wrestling. What's going on, man? We might need you for some stuff. Ray Fran's in the house as well. So is Big J Smitty. We have David Brown. Good to see you, my friend. Arthur Jones is here. We have Franco, the King Hell. Welcome. Dale Campbell, Hassan, Jay Lambo, Ramon Coffee. Who else am I missing here? Feel like a few other ones. JL, I did get you right on. I appreciate you guys liking the new intro. I've been working on that for about 3 weeks now. Finally got it finished up and delivered to me this morning, so I got that implemented on the channel, and I even made the ending of that intro the new channel avatar. I don't see it underneath this video yet. It probably takes some time to get it on every video, but it is on my channel, I believe. That is going to be my new, kind of channel avatar, but it might take a while for that to all hit all of the videos. I'm going to change the banner on the channel as well. Got the new intro, and I appreciate you guys liking the new scroll as well. I decided to keep the scroll, but changed it up a little bit, got rid of all the ads, and just made it a nice little countdown screen while I got everything ready before we went live here. So anyway, that's what we're here to do today. Watch WrestleMania 2000, WrestleMania 16, headlined by the big fatal four-way match, The Rock, Triple H, Mick Foley, and The Big Show, a McMahon in every corner. This was a weird one. Like I said, too, they also did the big WrestleMania all day long, which they've never done since. And I remember thinking that was such a cool idea because this was way before I mean, I think I had just bought my first computer. This is way before like internet was really a big thing yet, or at least for me, it was at that age. And so this whole all day long thing that I think started at like 8 o'clock in the morning, you could spend an extra maybe $20, $15. I can't remember the price to the price of WrestleMania. And you could get this long pre show where they would chronicle every single WrestleMania, go through all of their moments. It kicked off with like Michael Cole and Ivory were the hosts of this thing very early in the morning, and they went through different phases of the day, getting closer to WrestleMania. Then when the fans started filing in, but really it was just a long day of reliving all of the WrestleManias and the big moments, and it was really good. And I taped the entire thing. I have all 8 hours on video, but for some reason, years ago, when I transferred all of my videotapes to DVDs, which I then now store on hard drives. For some reason, that tape fell through the cracks. It took me about 3 years, 3 to 4 years, I think, to get all of my tapes transferred and recorded over to DVD. That's how long it took. And for some reason, that one just didn't make it. And I don't know what happened to it. I ended up donating all of my videos to a wrestling school. So it exists somewhere in the world, but I don't have it anymore. And I wish I did because I've never seen any videos online of it. And I had all 8 hours recorded. So I keep kicking myself for not having that video. I wish I did because there are some really fun little gems on that all day long WrestleMania 2000. So it was a fun marathon. It was a fun day. Unfortunately, though, the pay-per-view did not deliver, but who knows? As we watch it here, it might be really good. Might be really fun. Who knows what we're going to see because I remember very little about it. I know the big tag ladder match. I know the main event. Other than that, I don't have a lot of memories that stick out here. I think Pete Rose makes an appearance. Ice-T, I think, might be on the show. 9,000 title changes in a hardcore battle royal, I think. The Jericho Angle Benoit match, I also remember. But other than that, my memory's kind of faded on this show, so it should be real fun to watch it. You guys know the drill. Pull up your Peacock, go to WrestleMania under the WWE tab. Look for Season 16, Episode 1. Runtime, according to Peacock, kind of a long one, 3 hours, 18 minutes, and 43 seconds, which surprises me because I still thought even back in 2000, they were still doing 2 hour and 45-minute pay-per-views. So it looks like they got a little bit of extra time here, which is good for a show like this, and it wasn't so condensed into just 3 hours. So that's awesome. Should be fun. We'll click play here in a minute, so I'm not keeping you guys up too late. Looks like we're going head-to-head with the Oscars, and I have no idea what tonight's A&E biography was. Last week was China. Very good. I watched that. Not sure who tonight's biography is, but that's going on as well. So if you're here with us hanging out, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. All right, so hopefully by now you guys have gotten your Peacocks pulled up. You know the drill. We're going to do a countdown from 3 and hit play in just a second. Once we do that, the timer right above my head will begin to run, and we just all follow along with the timer. If any interruptions happen, you experience one, I experience one. If the earth explodes, anything like that, we just come back, sync up our Peacock to the timer above my head, and it works. That's how we do it here. So hopefully you guys have got your fingers ready. I have to get 2 fingers ready, so it just takes me another extra second here, and then we'll just kind of do a 3, 2, 1 play. That's how we do it for all you newbies. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button for me. Make sure you subscribe if you're not doing that already. And it's time for WrestleMania 16 live from Anaheim, California. All right, let me get my finger on the timer, finger on the play button, and I am locked and loaded. Y'all ready to go? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Yes, I did it. All right, here we go. Anaheim Pond, I've only been to one time for a Ducks and Red Wings game. Red Wings lost in overtime. You can pick up a train here in Solana Beach that will take you right to Anaheim and drop you off at the stadium in front of right in front of a bar that's right next to the stadium. It's perfect. All right, Lillian's going to do the honors on oh, we're doing the Star Spangled Banner. Okay. Lillian G is going to sing that. No America the Beautiful this year, it doesn't look like. Who did it? I'm trying to think who sang at night. Where are we at here? WrestleMania 16. Who sang at 15? Boyz II Men did. That's right. I was in Philly. And Boyz II Men sang, I think, America the Beautiful, I think. I don't recall who did 14 or 13. But anyway, let me make sure I've gotten all the shout outs here. Yeah, We Are Pro Wrestling. You were you were asking me or asking us who did the all day long thing, and I did order it. And you also said this Mania was the last one to be under the 4-hour mark. No kidding. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense because then by 2001, it's Houston, we have a problem, and then it's stadium shows forever, or for a few years there. Yeah, because back year before, a couple years before this, WWE was still struggling, to get what they wanted from the pay-per-view providers and the cable companies and stuff. They weren't as hot as they would become. Good job, Lillian. Man, it's still a whole year, about a year and a half away from 9/11. She'll be belting out a pretty memorable rendition of the national anthem here in about 18 months. All right, we're getting the video package. I mean, we were only 16 WrestleManias in. This was 23 years ago. Shit, man. God, I have so many memories. Good to see Danny in Oak Park. I remember when I ordered WrestleMania, me and my cousin were watching, all blown away by the Hardy ladder spot. Yeah, this match was really good. And then it would get crazier in SummerSlam, which I was there for. I'm biting into this gummy, sorry. Oh, 14 was the DX band. That's right. I forgot. That was terrible. So Vince, I think going into this, right? He's like technically a babyface. I guess he had been one ever since maybe Armageddon. But I remember the talk, the chatter around the hotlines and whatever else I was doing at the time to talk wrestling. There were a lot of people rolling their eyes at the concept of 4 McMahons involved in this. Felt very self-centered and all making it about themselves, and it kind of was. And it was just too much, You should have just done, all you had to do was do The Rock and Triple H. That's all you had to do. Just do what you did at Backlash. But they had to make it difficult, and they had to get cute. And one interesting thing I did find about the show, though, about the main event, and I remember saying it when the finish happened to my friends in my apartment, I said, Triple H is like the first guy since Hogan to successfully defend his title at WrestleMania. I guess Kevin Nash did it. But it's a short list, man. Everybody drops the title at WrestleMania. It's just generally what you do, at least up until this point. So Triple H retaining was pretty wild. Good to see Jimmy's reviews up in the house. Ryan Adams, too. Welcome anybody else chiming in. Whoa. Did I fast forward or something? Did we just skip through the entire? Yes, we did. I'm looking at the timer. I'm like, did I fast forward or something? All right. I'm pretty sure they had a whole Ice-T song that. Oh, I forgot he pimps hoes nationwide. I forgot. Pimpin' ain't easy. Do people, I never understood, do people claim that pimping was easy? I never assumed it was. I always assumed it was probably somewhat difficult. They say it as if people are running around saying, you know how easy pimping is? I don't think that's what's happening. Oh, yeah. Bull Buchanan. So what is this? What are we watching here? Just a tag? This for the tag titles? Anaheim's finest hose. Second WrestleMania here in this building. WrestleMania 12, just 4 years earlier, was right here. Yeah, they cut out the whole damn thing. I mean, I thought we went through a time warp. All of a sudden, Godfather and D'Lo are just in the ring. I kind of forgot about their little alliance, too. D'Lo had a random alliance the year before. He was in a tag title match the year before, like with Test or something, wasn't he? No tag. So this is just a regular ass match? All right. Oh, yeah. The tag titles is the ladder match. Sorry. I'm stupid. All right. So it is Godfather and D'Lo taking on Bull Buchanan and the Boss Man. Two pimps against two cops. Right on. Just the way it should be. Bull Buchanan's son wrestles in NXT now. That's incredible. I love that the hoes are hanging out there. The one girl's going to lean up against the railing. She's just going to sit down. Did we ever have any Papa Shango and Big Boss Man matches? I don't think so. They were there together for a short time. They should have opened with a singles match, right? Yeah, if you're here for singles action, you've come to the wrong place. WWE just could never decide who they wanted to pick and shit. So they do so many multi-man matches. I'm so glad it wasn't like that back in the day. A couple weeks ago, we were watching WrestleMania 3. I'm not sure if that Savage Steamboat match would have been any good if it was a Savage, Steamboat, Honky, and Jake in a fatal four-way, you know? Sometimes simple is better. Actually, that would have been an interesting match, now that I say it out loud, but they said Boss Man's got a good record at WrestleMania. Well, let's think. He won at WrestleMania 5. He won at WrestleMania 6. He won at WrestleMania 7 via DQ, I'm pretty sure. I think WrestleMania 8, he was on the winning 8-man tag, possibly. We Are Pro Wrestling. Do I have that right? 9, 10, I don't think he was doing anything there. He was gone. Then he wouldn't come back until the previous year, and he helped The Undertaker. Oh, no, he lost. He lost the last year. He was hung. That's right. Big Boss Man was killed at the previous year's WrestleMania. So I guess he's like 4-1, 5-1, something like that. They wrestled. Thank you, Ben. They wrestled on October 1992 episode of Superstars. That was right when Brett won the title. That's awesome. I have no recollection of how this issue was really developed on TV, but I'm surprised the hoes are hanging out tonight. Usually they just go to the back, right? Or D'Lo, a couple of months removed from the tragic Draws accident as well for D'Lo. Yeah, I mean that's the way this Mania feels. It's like let's get everyone on the card, which I can appreciate a little bit if you have like a longer show and you can just throw some battle royals together or something, but I mean, I guess I can understand the Intercontinental match a little bit because you had some good talent there. But I mean, I would have been happy with just Jericho and Benoit one on one, or Jericho and Angle one on one, or Benoit and Angle one on one. Anything like that at WrestleMania. I mean, I guess we'd get Benoit and Angle the next year. And Jericho and Benoit would go on to have many singles matches. A few of them I saw live. Wow. I think Godfather almost took out Mike Sparks there. Andy, we have not done a WrestleMania 14 watch along, but that one was on the list. I was thinking about doing that one, so maybe we could do that next week. I should put up another poll. I think next week we could do WrestleMania 14, WrestleMania 8. I think WrestleMania 22 might be a little fun to watch, even though it's kind of new and recent. Or new, recent for me, anyway. Oh, terrible elbow there. Yeah, this just feels, this is weird. I mean, right off the bat, I feel like we're having a Raw match at WrestleMania. I do like Godfather's hair tonight. Ooh, 20 is another good one. You don't have to do any super chat, Zach, for that. We might just do that one anyway. Oh, I'm working on, by the way, some. I got a Bub and Tito. I got some nice Tito icons there that are more PNGs, so they won't be so square like that. I just got to get those up, locked, and loaded in there for you guys to start using. Sorry about the emojis. I'm behind on those. I got a whole bunch of shit on my list to do for the channel that I'm working on right now. I guess that's true, Juliet. We could do it in reverse. We could watch the Raw after Mania and then do WrestleMania 14. That's a good idea, actually. I think I might still rely on the poll, but that is a good idea by Juliet. We should do that. Although I just feel like that's going to be a lot of the same subject. We're going to be watching that. And during that Raw, I assume they're going to be showing a lot of replays and highlights from the previous night. And then I'm going to have to turn around and watch all that shit again. I don't know if I want to. So we'll see. We'll see if it wins the poll. I'll put 14, 8, and 20 on a YouTube poll and see who comes out on top. Those are 3 good ones for a YouTube poll, I think. Are they already talking about Pete Rose? I thought Pete Rose came out as like a joke every year. He came out in the chicken suit at WrestleMania 15, I think, right? It's a long ass match to open the show. I mean, I guess it's not. It's only, what, 10 minutes. But nice Rana by D'Lo. Oh, yeah, B squared, right? I was like, who's B2? B squared. Yeah, I hate to have to I don't want to veto anything because that actually is a really good idea. But I don't want to bore myself to death either. So we'll see what poll says. I'll put up a poll this week. We'll do 8, 14, or 20. And we'll see what gets decided. And then either, regardless of what we do, we'll still do that members only. I'll put links to all that shit up like tomorrow. Comes D'Lo. Big frog splash. Bull Buchanan's going to stop him. All right, looks like D'Lo and Bossman both legal, both in the ring, while Godfather and Buchanan are on the outside. This is a good spot for a finish if you're going to do one. I have no idea who wins this match at all. No clue. They're going to open up with a heel winning too? Wow. The heels are going to win. That can't be good for your long-term spinal cord issues, doing a leaping leg drop from the top. Be careful out there, hose. I mean, for California, I think we have better to offer. I mean, now you got to think about it. There's some hoes that are now 25 years older than they were back in the day. Got some 50-year-old hoes running around. I wonder what their memories are of these days being contacted. Triple H and Stephanie chilling out with their title belts. Kind of forgot she was women's champion. I forgot they were champions together. Alan Carter, we love D'Lo's head wobble. My buddy Daniel, he could do it real well. I'd watch all the pay-per-views with him. He had the D'Lo thing down pretty good. He also looked a little bit like Kurt Angle, so he could wear when he wore like the It's True shirt, put some medals on. He looked like him. It's kind of like how I look like Bobby Lashley, like we're the same guy, pretty much. It was that way with him and Kurt Angle. Timmy White, the hardcore title. It's the hardcore. Hardcore. Strictly adhered to. You got to be wicked smart to win this match. Timmy White laying out the rules of the hardcore battle royal. Or maybe not at all. We got Crash, Vis, Taka, Holly, APA, Headbangers, Posse, and Taz. We got the Mean Streets. The Mean Street Posse. Here comes Taz, 3 months removed from his debut. And I've said time and time again that Taz had the worst luck. He came in probably the best way you can come in. Madison Square Garden, pay-per-view, taps out an undefeated wrestler, debut, ovation, and reaction of a lifetime, and then immediately downhill because what happened? Like the very next week, the Radicals showed up. Eddie, Benoit, Jericho, Eddie and Benoit, and Malenko and Saturn. Suddenly, Taz wasn't as attractive anymore. And I think had those guys not come in, Taz would be involved in an Intercontinental title match at this pay-per-view, probably against Kurt Angle. But once, it would probably be Taz, Angle, and Jericho, actually, is probably what they would have done, something like that. But once WWE realized they had Benoit and they had Eddie, changed the game for Taz. He took a major back seat. They put him way in the back of the bus. And he wouldn't have been there had those guys not come in. That's my belief anyway. We Are Pro Wrestling, you agree with that? Underrated theme, Mean Street Posse. I always liked it. From Mobile, Alabama. Oh, the Pete Rose promo was great. That's what you got to do with a guy like Pete Rose, turn him heel. I do love that years later, Kane put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. Very cool. Indeed. I kind of forgot about the whole Indeed shit until I saw a clip of that not long ago. I'm like, oh, yeah, Indeed. I forgot about Indeed. Loved Indeed. All right. I don't know what the hell this match. Oh, this is the hardcore battle royal. Okay. So I think the rules here are you just keep pinning or you keep. How does this work? Timmy White was explaining the rules. Greg wasn't listening. Here's what I think they might be. You can pin as many people as you want in the battle royal. But if you get thrown over the top rope, you're eliminated. What's the rules? I need to pay attention when Timmy White speaks. All of you should, by the way. If you ever hear Tim White talk, zip it. If I don't know, and I'm not certain, but part of me thinks that Crash leaves with the title. We just have 15 different title changes or 30 different title changes or whatever it is. Crash's little, I don't know if he's cupping his balls or what he's doing there, but the Houdini of hardcore. Up, we're getting a fade out. Fade to black. Nope, we're back. That was probably an ad. Oh, time limit. Thank you. I'm like, how does this end? Because I was thinking, I'm like, well, I guess you can just keep pinning each other, but how does it end? Okay, so this isn't really is this even a battle royal? Or is this just a battle? Okay, 15-minute time limit. You just fight. Now, all pinfalls, I'm assuming, have to happen in the ring or no? Probably not, right? How do you manage this? There's one pin already. Taz has won the hardcore title, just like that. 30 seconds in. Taz wins his first championship. Okay, so it's going to be I didn't even remember these were the rules. Big Vis. Got to remember, Undertaker is hurt. No Undertaker, no Austin. That sucks. Having to have a WrestleMania without those two dudes. It's a lot of slack for Rock and Foley to pick up, man. And Viscera pins Taz, and now Viscera is our new hardcore champion. Kevin Dunn, damn you. Scuba Steve, damn you. Any Scuba Steve fans out there? I'm a Scuba Steve fan. Oh, a fan, household fan. One of those box fans cost about $20 at Walmart. Right over the head of Crash. Let's take a ghost count here. Crash, Viscera, both no longer with us. Everybody else, I think, is. Except Timmy White. Crash, Vis, Timmy. I think everybody else is still here. I know Pete Gas is here. Pete Gas is awesome. I remember years ago I got a follow from Pete Gas on Twitter. I wonder if he still follows me. I have no idea. But I like him. I think those lead pipes are just industrial size tinfoil rolls. Ooh, God. I think that's Crash, right? He got busted open bad. Yo, Mike, what's up, man? Good to see you. If I owe anybody else a hello or a shout out, hello. And I shout you out. I always hated one of my least favorite. I'm never a fan of all this shit anyway, because I always thought some of the weapons were dumb. But it's like always a cookie sheet. It's always a stop sign. Why are these the only thing? Well, there's a tennis racket. That's at least something, or maybe a wiffle, or not a wiffle ball. What's that shit? Badminton? Like it's always the trash can, the road sign, and the cookie sheet. Road signs and cookie sheets shouldn't be in the arena. Maybe the cookie sheets could be in the kitchen or something if there's one there. Restaurants in the arenas, but you'll find hotel pans and things like that. But it's just like, why does nobody ever pull out a chainsaw or a pair of scissors? It's always like a cookie sheet. I'm like, oh, look, somebody put a drill under the ring. Let's plug this in and drill a hole in somebody's head. No, you never see that. Like when you're setting up the ring, they're like, hey, do you remember put the cookie sheets under there? It's not complete without the cookie sheets. And as somebody who works in restaurants and handles these big sheets, they do not bend like that. You would have to hit them so fucking hard on something. So they are just tinfoil gimmicked bullshit. But those of you who work in restaurants, you've seen the big racks, right? They have to be strong. They're not flimsy. They don't bend. You have to put shit on them and stick them up on a speed rack. It's still Viscera, right? Viscera with a big kick out there. And so we got 10 and a half minutes left in this thing. We've had 2 title changes so far. Taz and Viscera, I think. And everybody is outside of the ring. This whole thing is taking place on the outside. I don't know what they were thinking this year with this WrestleMania. It's like it's a clusterfuck. It feels like a clusterfuck. The first 2 matches have no meaning, no point. But at the time, man, I was stoked. I was ready for WrestleMania. I thought it was going to be a good one. It just, did not turn out to be. And I was already past the age of really giving a shit who won and lost, but I do remember thinking it was pretty surprising that Triple H retained. Like Pete Gas is in big bloody trouble over there. Oh, Simmons just working him over. Taz eating the cookie sheet. Ugh. Yeah, that's another surprising thing about this Mania is 99 and 2000 were white hot years. Super hot. And the fact that they managed to shit the bed on 2 WrestleManias in a row is pretty surprising. God, they are catching these. I mean, the ones we have in our restaurant, it would take so much force to actually bend one of those. You'd have to hit it way harder. You'd have to hit it against something way harder than a human head. Oh yeah, Taka and big Vis. Wow. I forgot. Is this before or after the Taka and Bradshaw friendship? That must have been. This must have been way after. That friendship might have been like 98. When were they friends? Taka and Bradshaw. I forgot what year that all happened. So who's the fucking champ? Funaki. Okay. Funaki is the champion. I wasn't sure if those were Japanese flags on their cheeks or if they cut themselves shaving. Oh, he's going to try to run away and run the clock out. That's what I'd do. If I won the title, I would just bolt. Yeah, WrestleMania 5 is on the list. I'm not sure if it's going to make the poll, though. Although I am a big fan of the Hogan and Savage match. Who just won? Pete Gas? No, Rodney. Ooh. Rodney got leveled by Joey Abs. Nice gut wrench on the floor. Now Joey Abs is the champion. Yeah. 24 seconds. I mean, I hate to be a record keeper in this shit. Young Japanese men need to shave. Actually, they don't. All right, we got 6 minutes left, and Gas and maybe Holly are heading back to the ring. Or no, Mosh or Banger, which one of them? Looks like Thrasher. Oh, want to hear something interesting? I have never in my life operated a fire extinguisher. I've never had to. Had a couple of fires in restaurants that I've worked in, but chefs handled it. I got fire extinguishers in my house. Never had to bust one out. I'm not even totally sure if I know how to use them. I think I can figure it out. Probably pull a lever, right? All right, 5 minutes left. Pete Gas. WWE have some square ring posts, or is that just an illusion? Yeah. Well, let's go over here now then. Oh, who's winning now? Taz is a 2-time champion in the same match. That's interesting. So since we're all watching here, I'm going to make this open to everybody, not just members, so we can get a lot of votes. All right, I'm putting up a poll right now. WrestleMania. And that way, 3 hours will go by and we can see what's winning before we close off here. WrestleMania 8. WrestleMania. What was the other one? 14. WrestleMania 20. These are 3 good options. I'm actually, I don't think this is going to be a runaway vote. All right, I'm about to hit post on this thing. Let me just proofread it. Which WrestleMania are we watching next Sunday? WrestleMania 8, WrestleMania 14, WrestleMania 20. The poll is live on the community tab right now on YouTube. So you can go over there and vote. We'll keep an eye on that poll as we go through the night here. Also want to welcome the dozen or so new followers on Twitter I had this morning randomly. I don't know if I put up a tweet that got some traction or what, but new tweets. All right, back to the match. 3 minutes left. 3:10 left. Tito was so cute under my feet. Holly got, or Crash, that is, he got busted open pretty bad. That's right under my feet right there. Just sleeping. Do your cats put their paws over their eyes? It's hilarious. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in this match. Up, double pin. Who's champion right now? Taz. Okay, so what? Here's a question. 2-minute warning just hit. What if you're the champion? So Taz is the champion right now, right? Can he pin Crash? Does that mean he would have to get pinned twice to lose the title? That's what they should do. Why isn't, can Taz go for the pin? That's what I want to know. Like, can the champion go for the pin? And if he can't, why can't he? Is what I want to know. It seems unfair. I feel like if the champion is able to pin someone while he's the champion, then that means he has to be pinned twice to lose. Doesn't that seem fair? Oscars are on now. No slaps yet. I did see the Chris Rock bit where he went off on Will Smith. I can't stand Will Smith. A delusional, self-centered nut job celebrities can be sometimes. That whole shit with him and his wife and their entanglement and their interview. I'm like, why do you put this shit out for everybody to see? Why are you that self-important? Wife's gonna cheat on you and then she's gonna interview you? Huh? 30 seconds left. Crash just won. With a lot of blood on his head. You better run out of there, son. Oh, Taz mission. Maybe Taz wins. Fans want Taz. 20 or 17 seconds left. 15. Hang in there, buddy. He's going to have to fight it. He's going to fight the Taz mission for that long? Oh! 1, 2, 3. Very well timed. That was excellent timing. No, Crash got the shoulder up. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Was that a botch? I don't even think Howard Finkel knew who won. I was just about to say it was well executed on the timing of that. He came through with that glass jar or whatever it was, right as time went down. I guess Crash either had his nope. Timmy's going to give the belt to no. No, we don't. See, even the announcers don't know what to do. What are they doing? I hope Vince is flipping his shit at Gorilla. He should be. He should be yelling at the booking team for why they even make this match. Yelling himself, too, while he's at it. Stephanie likes ugly testicles is a sign I see. That's good. See, there, look at this. That was the candy dish. That's interesting because that same candy dish would come into play in another Taz match at SummerSlam when I was there in Raleigh with the match against Lawler. So that's Jim Ross's legitimate candy dish, I guess he would keep there. Crazy. I never remembered that they did a candy dish spot. What do we do? What is this Alex Wright music? Don't act like you're not dancing. WWF. China. What's up, China? What does she do tonight? Oh. Oh, she's facing Eddie? See how good she looks there? China looks awesome. Good for her. So it was a botched 3 count, but was Holly booked to win or was Crash booked to win? Bob or Crash? I definitely messed something up. Nobody knew what the hell was going on. That was just all kinds of horrible. So next time we talk about doing a WrestleMania that we know sucked, let's not do it. I'm just kidding. We're shitting on 16 too hard. We got a good audience in here, nearly 100 people watching WrestleMania with me. It's the biggest house party I've ever had. I think the most people I've ever had in my house at one time is like 30. You guys have like tripled that. So that's awesome. Big Show's about to pee his pants. What is it with him? Look at Trish. Look how young she is. I was going to shows so frequently during this time, meeting all these guys. It was just crazy. They felt so accessible back then, like just running into them at restaurants and stuff. Coachman, you and your hair. Get rid of that. You look like a fool. Michael Cole, you and your highlights. You could go to the WWF fan thing and do commentary with Michael Cole. I'd be like, you suck at this, Michael Cole. You be quiet. Let me do the talking. At the time, Cole was like, oh, man, I'm fucking fan fest announcing duty. You don't see Jim Ross doing this, do you? Now this is what Kevin Patrick has to do now. Michael Cole is Kevin Patrick. Hey, Undertaker's there. Kind of looking a little American badassy before actually showing up. Dark glitz. Austin's there too. I'm surprised they didn't have because Austin would make Backlash. I'm surprised they didn't at least try to have him do something. Maybe Undertaker too. Like, I think it would have been fun for the fans. I think a couple years later, WWE might have had this mindset. Provided Austin didn't have quite that beer belly, I would have him and Undertaker Well, they were kind of feuding. I would have him and Undertaker have a segment on the show, injured, where they just do a promo together. Austin comes out. There's somebody else missing from this WrestleMania. Undertaker, since you're all gimpy leg like me, why don't you come out here and we'll have a beer and entertain these people? And then they can both say, when we come back, it's going to be, well, I guess Taker wasn't American Badass yet, so you couldn't really do that with Taker. But I could see them doing some sort of segment. We'll be back in a couple months kicking ass. You guys enjoy the rest of the show. Give the fans a moment, thrill. But Taker was in his transition period right now from dead man to badass, from Jim Johnson to Kid Rock. Thank you for replaying your botch, because that's always good. Got a couple super chats to answer. Let me hit those in 1 second. Let me see what Al Snow, he's talking to the toilet for some reason. Head cheese. Yeah, it's WrestleMania, Steve. Faulty plumbing. Hey, if I can get those likes to match the amount of people in the chat, that would be super. Oh, wow. Ooh, hey, guys. I don't know what the 8 wonders of the world are, but Trish has 2 of them. Oh my God, good to see Trish back. Still not sure what she's going to do. I talked yesterday in the podcast that I'm still confused about the whole thing with Trish, Lita, Becky. I don't know what they're doing. Feels like somebody's going to go heel or something, but I don't really know what. All right, so this is another tag match. I don't even know who Head Cheese is working with. Let's see. Let's find out. Let's find out together. Not the Headbangers, not Christian or any of those guys. Who's left? Who's a team? Not the Hollies. Teddy Long is the referee. Ooh. Chester McCheesyton. This is WrestleMania. This is WrestleMania, not a Raw in the middle of October. Chester McCheesyton. Oh, it's a real little guy. Oh, good. Thank you. The stream committed suicide and faded to black. Oh, no, we're back. Oh, it's TNA. Yeah, we just saw Trish. Sorry, I didn't put that together. I was looking at Trish's exquisite front unit and did not notice that she had a couple of dudes with her named Test and Albert. Holy shit. Kind of forgot that she used to look like that. Anyway, let's knock out 3 super chats. Got $20 rolling in. 10 from Chris to start. Thank you for that, dude. Greg, hope you're doing well. I'm in San Diego next weekend if you're free. Also, look out for Pedro Tavez Jr. He's only 26 and was a D1 wrestler at Penn State. And my coaching trial for NXT. Let me look at my schedule. I have no idea what I'm doing next week yet. Are you going to Mania, by the way, Chris? But yeah, if I'm here and not doing too much, we should maybe try to meet up. That would be cool. That's really cool. Yeah, you should try to make Mania too, because I know you're kind of in my neck of the woods, correct? That's awesome. That's really crazy, though, about Pedro Tavez. He was also your coach. That is really cool. I hope. Good luck to him. Oh, good. Now we're having audio difficulties. Although I don't know if that was my speaker. Did you guys have audio difficulties too, or is that just my computer speakers? It might have been my audio. Nope, it was JR. It was JR. I blame JR. So you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me a lot of WrestleMania 11. WrestleMania 11, for some reason, had technical difficulties out the ass. It didn't feel like it was flowing well. A lot of the backstage interviews that Pet and Gill did was with headphones. He's gotten a lot of feedback. Boy, so we have another non-title random tag match. We had Boss Man and Buchanan against the Godfather and D'Lo, and now we've got Head Cheese and TNA. And the best thing about this match so far has been the Stratus. There she is. Yeah, all right. Try to refocus here. Chris chimes in with 5 more. Thanks, dude. In his book, Hardcore Holly, I read his book. I have his book. It's right back here. Holly said Crash was supposed to retain, but the timing of the count was off. They just lucked out since those two had the same music. Oh, no kidding. So Crash was supposed to retain, but okay. Huh. That's really interesting. Yeah, I feel like something definitely was off there to where not only the announcers, but the referee and Howard did not know what was happening. And that was kind of funny. Michael Kumo, appreciate the 5 from you, my dude. I'm guessing they aren't going to show the segment with the cat and Mae Young. Oh, what did they do there? I know they were doing something on TV, but we're going to have some crazy women's match later, right? Obviously. Forgot what happened on TV between those two and why they're not going to show that. Yeah, I hear you. We are pro wrestling. WWE, I feel like WWE was really in the driver's seat, which is another reason why they did that WrestleMania all day long thing. Because when WCW was kicking their ass, I don't know if WWE would have been in their nature to highlight a lot of their memories that have a lot of current WCW stars on it. They were losing in the ratings, they didn't have that security. But here, they were kicking the shit out of WCW in the ratings, and they were doing so badly that I think that WWE kind of knew, even though they were still a full year away from the buyout happening. I think WWE knew in their head there was no looking back, and that they had fully not only won this war, but were in full control of the war, but have won it. And there was no way that WCW was going to turn things around. WWE was just operating on all cylinders. Everybody wanted to be there. They had the best talent, best TV, best everything. So by then, I feel like that's why WWE did that all day long thing, because I feel like they felt like they can finally now acknowledge their history again, because of the previous 7 or 8 years before this, all of their history was in WCW. And now that they're kind of making their own history, they don't feel so bad about highlighting that, because they know how popular they are, and then you would see it 2 years later. You would see it after the buyout. As soon as that WCW buyout happened, it was like immediately WWE started putting out DVDs, started the Confidential show, saying, let's use some of this footage and start showing all this shit. And, they took full advantage of that. So I think WWE's dominance was another reason why they did that all day long thing. I don't think they would have done this during years when they were getting their ass kicked by WCW, just so they could remind the fans, hey, all these wrestlers are over on that better show. But it wasn't like that by the time you got to 2000. How old would Mae Young's hand be today? 22, 23? That sounds about right. I need to get a new beer. Be right back. I'm also trying to see if I have this WrestleMania. I kind of forgot to pull it out. I would assume I have this on VHS, but I'm not. Oh, I can see it from here. Hold on. Okay, so it looks like I just have this. I have the VHS tape of this WrestleMania. I don't think I have the DVD, except for in this thing. That thing. The DVD to this show is in here. But I don't even know if they made a single DVD of this. They probably didn't. DVDs weren't out yet. So there it is. WrestleMania 16. It's in shitty shape. It's all busted. It's not in great shape, but I have it. Ooh, this is Demolition's finish. Not really. Ooh, they nailed that on test. Drinking a bottle of 805 now, or a can of 805. I had one bottle, it's gone. Good to see you, John. Welcome. Glad you're here. You haven't missed much so far, man. Pointless opening tag, botchy, clusterfucky, hardcore battle royal, and now a pointless different tag. Leo, I only have three. Whoa, I only have three real replica belts, and they're right there. Those three there. A classic IC Winged Eagle and the WCW television tag. This shit over here is just toy belts for decoration. I still got Chester Cheeseman out there, whatever his name is. Poor King, still dealing with his audio troubles. TNA, it's weird to hear that. All right. That was a nice, fun match there. I just want to take a pair of scissors. You know what I mean? A couple of ridiculous signs in the crowd. One just said, show your tits, which I guess that was happening. I was at a lot of shows where girls were doing that in the crowd. I thought he'd be great. He thought Chester Cheeto would be great. Oh, they're going to beat up Chester now. This is a segment they saved for. Oh, he's going to lift him up like that? My cheesy little friend. So Head Cheese has got. Oh, and I knew they were going to beat him up. He smacked him with the microphone. Oh, no. So, my question, I have a question. Oh, now they're going to hit their finish on Cheeseman. Okay, that's might as well. So, backstage, they're sitting around a table, writing this shit out. And Vince is hearing this, thinking that it's just gold. Oh. Hey, that's her phone. You better get her phone for her. It's for you, Kat. Oh, they are nice. That's great. She's real busy. That old cell phone from 2000. Oh, a pussycat. Look at there. They didn't cut this out. Got any water there? Maybe you should splash it on yourself. Oh, there you go. What the? Lawler's freaking out like he hadn't seen that before. All right, finally a match that we care about. It's ladder match time. Yeah, Kat, we got kids. Tito is only 9, and he's should not be looking at titties yet. Way too soon. I mean, Dudley's had just came in a few months earlier. This was the beginning of a magnificent trilogy. I haven't seen this match in a long time because I thought what the three teams would do at the two TLCs. Because a lot of people got to remember, this is not a TLC, it's just a ladder match. In my mind, next year at WrestleMania 17 was TLC 3, the way I look at it. And this is TLC 1. We watched Armageddon 99, me and my friends, and we ordered every pay-per-view at my house and watched them all. So this is a routine thing to be there. Thought nothing of it. Typical pay-per-view Sunday, having a good time, hanging out. And we're watching this ridiculous mud bath match or whatever it is. And we all just kind of collectively looked at each other when she did that. I'm like, did she? And like, I think she did. She did. WWE went with it. They went for it. They tried nudity to see if they'd get any heat. And I don't think we've seen it since. All right, Edge and Christian at this time, I'm pretty sure, are still baby faces. They came through the crowd. Edge is wearing a hat. I think Edge and Christian are still trying to pass themselves off as baby faces, but we're getting close to them being. Hell, they might already be. Oh, wow. That was quite the bump there. Maybe not. Maybe Edge and Christian are already heels, but I feel like they're still clinging to babyfaceness. We Are Pro Wrestling, you can help me. Whoever else knows this stuff. Refresh my memory. Enhance my memory. Enhance. 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 Here come the Dudleys. Chef before all the DUIs, yeah. Damn it, I have somehow gotten myself just 1 second off on the timer. How do I rectify this? I know how. We're good. There we go. And then I'm going to fast forward 10. Boom. That's how you do it. Don't worry. This doesn't affect you. I just got my Peacock a second off and I had to line it up. All right. So here we go. Match is underway. Hmm. Yeah, they became heels. I'm not sure if that was they might have became heels with the general audience, but I don't know if they were officially heels on TV. I don't know when that happened. But Edge and Christian had a ton of heat. I remember with the fans back then because they would win all of these matches without taking the crazy bumps. I mean, they would take some bumps, but they weren't taking the type of bumps that the Hardys and the Dudleys were taking. And that was, to me, was such a brilliant way to get extra heel heat on top of everything else. Because now you're going to piss off the fans who don't think it's fair and all that. They don't understand the camaraderie and the professionalism and the fact that the Dudleys and Hardys don't give a fuck. They're all out there making magic together. The winners are almost secondary in matches like this because you remember all the teams and what they did. I mean, Edge and Christian can win those matches all they want. We remember the most bumps and moments from the match that didn't include either one of them, except for maybe that Edge spear off the ladder or off the ladder to Jeff. the next year was pretty iconic. But everything else was just the Hardy Swantons and the spot they'll do here and the spots they'll do at SummerSlam. Big falling ladder through the multiple table spots that they did twice. Those are what you remember, you know? But the fans took it so personally and were so offended. And I just remember loving it because I'm like, this is great because Edge and Christian are heels and this works. Winning matches like this while taking less than half of the amount of punishment of your opponents is smart. Oh, yeah, let's check. What are we looking at? Oh, not many votes yet. Under 100. 57% though for WrestleMania 20. See if we can get it up. But yeah, right now it's looking like WrestleMania 20 is in the lead. Oh. Oh yeah, Chris, I got to check my schedule. I only work one day on the weekends, and that's Saturdays. But I don't think I'm working next Saturday, so I don't think I'm going to be at my place at all next weekend, which is kind of nice. But we might be able to work something out. Anyway, the most dastardly acts. I love Jim Ross's dastardly. Wow, Jeff with the 450, and he missed. Wasn't seeing too many 450s back then. Not too much carnage yet. But that 450 by Jeff was nuts. Holy shit. WrestleMania 20 is 4.5 hours long. Good Lord. I might have to create a bunch of accounts and make WrestleMania 8 win. Ooh. Big scooper. Big scoop slam. Wow. Everybody but Bo, and he's going to do that ladder thing. And I think this is also before we started seeing the mega ladders. I think in these first couple of ladder matches, the one they did the previous year at No Mercy, and then this one here. Well, no, I guess they did have the big one because they had the big Jeff dive. So no, the big ladders were there. And I've never seen step ladders that I mean, I feel like these things are special made or something. They don't make regular, just general Home Depot step ladders that big, like the ones that are 3 times the size of the normal ones, with that little flimsy ass support bar holding it together. I do remember the finish here. Christian and Edge do build some sort of a scaffold type thing. Up Christian going for a dive. Gonna dive onto Bubba and Matt, it looks like. There's a bump by Christian. Look at him. Bubba sells it. Oh, it's hard to tell. These guys all with the yellow hair, the blonde hair. Dudleys are easy to find, but I'm trying to remember the bumps that we see. I mean, other than the big Jeff on Swanton on the outside onto Bubba. Trying to remember what other mega spots we see in this match. I don't think there were a ton of them. Ooh. WWE realized they were onto something at No Mercy, and I remember that year I was living with a roommate, and she was gone or something, and her brother was staying with us, and he knew of wrestling but didn't really like it. And he and I just sat there and watched this pay per view together. For some reason, I didn't have friends over that night, and it was just him and me. And he was blown away, as was I, by the ladder match between the Hardys and Edge and Christian because they were doing things. WWE realized that night they were onto something because the innovation with the ladders and some of the shit they were doing, it just like progressively got crazier, because when Shawn and Razor had their match at WrestleMania 10, some of the spots they were doing in that match was blowing my 1994 brain. They'd come back 5 years later and do the No Mercy one, and now we're into this one. And then by SummerSlam in 2000, when I was there, it got really crazy, and then completely went over the top at WrestleMania 17. He's going for a cutter from the top. Oh, a 3D from the top or 3D from the ladder. Fans like that. That was a bump. Shit, I forgot who I get. Was it who the hell are the tag team champions going into this thing? It must be the Hardys, right? Or maybe it is Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian retain? No, they win here. Edge and Christian haven't won the titles yet. I love that. I love that I don't know. Now the Dudleys and the Hardys had a great match at the Royal Rumble, that table match, which was incredible. Oh, the Dudleys are champs. All right. When did they win the titles? And who do they beat? I guess I'm lost. I don't even know the lineage at that point. I don't know who Dudley's beat to win the titles. Guess the Outlaws were done by then, right? I don't know, man. Can't believe how I don't remember this stuff anymore. Yeah, Dudleys were the champs going in. I don't remember who they beat. Maybe the previous pay-per-view. They weren't champs at the Royal Rumble. That means they were recent champs. Ooh. Okay, No Way Out against the Outlaws. Okay, so it was DX. So Dudley's beat the Outlaws at No Way Out 2000. I had no idea. Okay, Billy couldn't wrestle. I was about to say there had to have been would they have really put a brand new team like the Dudley Boys over a team like the Outlaws back then? But I guess if Billy was hurt. Hmm. They're all up there except except the Dudleys. Christian and Jeff just take a spill. There goes Matt and Edge. Oh, man, that's another dangerous spot. The back of Matt's head came dangerously close to hitting the bottom rope, and that could have done some damage. Bubba seems to be focused enough to get up to these belts. Good overhead camera angles on both of those bumps there. Yeah, they would keep topping themselves. That was the whole point I brought up earlier. I mean, it all started. It was basically 4 matches. Edge and Christian and the Hardys kicked it off at No Mercy. Then you had this. Then you had SummerSlam. Then you had the next year. Hell, you could even throw a 5th match in there, Royal Rumble. Wow, what a bump! Who was that? Jeff and Christian, I think. Holy shit! Poor guys, man. Everybody's out. Dudley's in the ring all by themselves. I mean, we still have a long way to go. Jeff's got to do that spot in the aisleway, and then we have to do the finish. And there's a lot of fort building to do because I know these guys bridge a lot of ladders and tables upon one another. Good to see you, Mongolian Chop. I'm doing splendidly, man. Thanks for asking. Things are rarely bad in my world, unless, of course, I lose a pet or something, which I have been going through. Other than that, life's good, man. 3D's going to nail Edge with it. 3D to Edge. Big J, this WrestleMania is really bad. 1 out of 10. Oh, we're maintaining a decent audience in here for this, which is a good sign. That even if we watch a shitty show, you guys are going to hang out with me, which is kind of cool. Oh, that's a butt. That actually looks like a real table on the aisleway side because it's got marks and nicks in it. Looks like the oh, and Devon, did he use it? Oh, he threw it in the ring. It looks like it's the table from like my 2nd grade elementary school. I think the one that's laying upside down is all nicked up. Man, it's a good thing that Mick Foley did lose the main event. Otherwise, he might never became commissioner and never coined the tables and ladders and chairs, oh my nonsense. This WrestleMania is better than WrestleMania 11? Maybe. Yeah, I think it kind of is. WrestleMania 11 is pretty bad, but there we go. They're building that. That's got to be nerve-wracking to stand up there. Put the legs down. Might as well. I don't know if that's going to matter, but scaffold match. Crowd does not like that. So that table is set there for the finish. Yeah, WrestleMania had Pam Anderson, Jenny McCarthy, Roddy Piper refereed a Bret Hart match. That's usually good when that happens, but something was off about that Mania. Shawn and Diesel was a good match. Bam Bam and Lawrence Taylor was a good match, but Bret and Backlund sucked. Taker and Bundy sucked. Yoko returning was kind of cool. But it was in Hartford. You don't do WrestleMania in Hartford. No offense to Hartford, but it's not a destination. I got a couple of weeks off. I need some time in Hartford. Who's saying that? LA, however, is a fantastic place. Still, my favorite place to go to any wrestling show or any show at all is Vegas. It's so perfect because you just park once you get there and you're done. Park at the hotel, you get your room, and you can just walk everywhere you need to go. It's so perfect. And there, Hugo's wearing that stuff again. Sometimes it looks like Hugo's wearing saran wrap over his tuxedo shirt. Devon missed his splash onto Jeff, and then Bubba's power bombing Matt. Oof. And Matt ate that bump hard. That's a similar bump to the one I've talked about before that Matt took at SummerSlam, where he was on the ladder, pushed backwards over the top rope, and he fell backwards into a table that was set up on the floor. And from my seat, I felt the vibration of the thud that his body made. And that was when I realized, I'm like, these guys fucking murder each other every night. I don't know what Devon's trying to do over there with that one ladder. But look at how Matt takes this. Ugh. Oh my God. That looked like it caught Jeff in the face. Obviously, we know it didn't because he's not bleeding, but yeah, show a replay of this. Look at this. God, did it not look like it caught him right in the face? Jesus, man. Where'd that ladder come from, JR? JR, where'd that ladder come from? Look at Bubba checking it out. I would actually like to watch WrestleMania 2, believe it or not. I think it would be fun. I think it would be fun to watch WrestleMania 2. 3 is as far back as we've gone. We've watched 3 and 4. I would not even rule out WrestleMania 2. I'd rather watch WrestleMania 2 more than 11 or this one, to be honest. I think it might be fun. We ain't got that many weeks left, though, until WrestleMania. I think we could have enough time to watch 2 more. Next year. So I already know we're going to have to watch next year. We're going to have to watch WrestleMania 2, WrestleMania 5. Probably WrestleMania 13 and 14. We haven't watched those. We'll get to all of them eventually. Next year, WrestleMania 1, we could. I'd be into WrestleMania 1. I like WrestleMania 2 better than WrestleMania 1, believe it or not. I don't know why. I just liked it more. This is crazy. And it always felt like Jeff overshot that. Doesn't it feel that way? He came off a little far and he landed right on his ass. I just feel like that would break your tailbone. You'd be sitting on a donut for a month after that. I mean, he landed on it enough to break the table, but watch how he comes down here. Oh, there's a better shot of it. I guess he did hit Bubba. He did hit him and bounce. It just looked like he fell more straight down. The bottom angle is worse. I'm into all of them. I'm into Mania 2, Mania 9. Mania 9 would be Mania 9 would still suck, but Mania 9 is gonna be one of the last ones I do now that I think about it. Can't watch Brett lose. I'm not sure if we'll ever get to WrestleMania 12. Not a great Mania. Plus, so much of it is the Iron Man match. We'd spend the whole time talking. So we're probably not going to get to 12 until like the very end, until I'm 50. Yes, I'm definitely down for doing the first Survivor Series. That'd be a good double header day. Members only 87, and then regular 88 later that night or something. Oh, there goes Matt. He crashed through, and they're up there. Edge has got him. I think Christian's told the story of how he couldn't stand up here. He's like, hold me, Edge. Oh, now he's standing. I do think he said he was terrified to do that, though. I'd be terrified up there. I'd be terrified doing that on flat ground. You're on a goddamn trampoline. Trying to balance up there. It's a good thing that table didn't break with him standing on it up there. Oh, I get it now. I get it now. Look at that overhead shot. That's the table. That's the table I was talking about. I said, hey, when they pulled that one specific table out, it looked nicked up. It looked real. It didn't look like just the fabricated bullshit that's under there. It looked like a real table from my high school. That's why they needed something sturdy. Because I was like, surely all three of those guys, it was Edge, Christian, and Matt Hardy standing up there. That thing would break if they were all just standing on it. And it's because it was a stronger table. That's why. That's the one they used for the bridge. See, you learned something 23 years after the fact. As soon as he got that thing in the ring, I'm like, why does that one look different? Because that's the bridge table. You guys might have known that, but I just realized it and I thought it was cool. All right, Mick Foley and Linda. Linda McMahon has always given me a teacher vibe. She reminds me of like an English teacher I had in high school or something. Short hair. Annoying. Oh yeah, Mick Foley's probably in heaven right now. In Disneyland land. He's probably very happy to be there. And believe it or not, if my memory is correct, I'm pretty sure I predicted Foley to win the title here. Because I'm like, why would they unretire him just for him to come in and lose here? And he did. He was like the first one eliminated, right? And I'm like, I was like, I don't get it. What the fuck was the point then? Oh, he touched the gold. Well, Hardy's had already been tag champs. So now it's official. All three of these teams have now held these titles. And they would do a lot of potato passing between these belts for the next year or so. Oh, it's our cat fight. JJ Leg, 1, 10, 20, 30 for next year. I love that. We've already watched WrestleMania 10, though. But by then, a whole year's passed. We could watch it again. At the very least, I need to review those. I think I've reviewed them all too, but we should just revisit everything. And I should review 1, 10, 20, and 30, next year in the month of March leading up to WrestleMania 40, one review per week. That should be very easy for me to accomplish with a year's notice. All right, Val's got a I am cocked shirt that's literally written in jizz. That's lovely. He's got a referee towel. That's kind of funny. Val's pal. I once got hired by a woman named Val. She was very cool. I went in to apply for a bartender job, got hired on the spot. Like, imagine buying that shirt at the merch stand. I saw it there. They sold it. I did not buy it. Mm-hmm. It amazes me what would get a rise out of the crowd. Let's say some stupid ass sexual innuendo. Oh, here comes Terry Runnels, who's got Moolah with her. These two basically just cancel each other out. Any erection Terry gives you, Moolah will take away. Terry. Oh yeah, the she devil. Lawler never shut up about that, did he? So this is going to be, I guess, Terry Runnels against the Cat with Moolah and Mae Young in the respective corners. So this is a, or is this a three-way too? Otherwise, this is a singles match, is it not? Unless there's somebody else involved. Cut. I mean, it would be funny if this was the only singles match. Is this not even for the women's title? Who's the women's champion? Where's China? Oh yeah, China's working with Eddie, I think. I haven't heard too much music dubbing, except for them completely cutting out Ice T's entrance. Okay, so China wrestles later. So this is one on one. That's actually kind of funny. So this is actually a one on one match, is it not? I mean, there's a lot of components. Mae Young. Mae Young she does remind me a little bit of one of my grandmothers. They got a similar voice. My grandma Violet kind of had Mae Young mannerisms. Ooh, get you some, Terry. He drops her. Timmy White and Earl are probably back there, but like, yo, where's our kisses? I'm a referee too. Jeez. The outfit choices here are something else. And Terry, I know she's very short, but and Cat too, but it blows my mind how these women are wrestling in those heels. That is so dangerous. I don't know how they didn't break an ankle. Oh, what is Mae Young going for? She's trying to get her some of the Valboski. Cat has won. Oh, it's a battle royal? That's all you have to do? Oh, Moolah saved her. So so Terry just pulled a Stone Cold Steve Austin Royal Rumble 97. Oh, here we go. Moolah and May getting into it. I kind of forgot they started feuding. 6 Dell updates already. Well, I ain't got time for that. Remind me later. Oh yeah, Stephanie was. Oh Lord, Val's getting him some of everybody. That's good. I'm glad that he's that Val's. Oh, she's out again, and he misses it again. This time it's May. Look at May get on him. You get some, May. YOLO. Oh, is now Val going to turn around and Cat's going to be out? That's it. It's over because of Mae Young's horniness. May, what are we going to do about you? May is so hot to trot that she's costing people matches. I think somebody needs to satisfy May. Any of y'all want to volunteer? Ben? Ray? Ray, come on, you know you do. Oh no, she's going to Bronco bust. She is so funny. What a good time she must have been to work with. Oh, she's going to strip Terry. Oh. Oh. The Cat's ripping clothes. Well, that is the point, right? These days, back in the day. It always did crack me up. I mean, being a young man, I didn't mind seeing these, women in their bikinis and stuff, but it just cracked me up just how simplistic and animalistic, people can be. It's just so all a woman has to do is say something minutely sexual and it just gets a rise out of the crowd. I'm like, does nobody get fucking laid anymore? Like, I don't understand like why people are so crazy over the top horny. And when I went to those shows back in the Attitude Era, you just let out half a tit and the crowd is going to give a Road Warrior pop. Like, that's literally all it took. It was this damnedest thing I've ever seen. You with us, Eddie? He looks like Dominic, doesn't he? Looks like his son. He looks like his boy. China can't take my heat, my Latino heat. He is disgusting. At work, I've got a busboy that I am pretty tight with, and he's been there at the restaurant I'm at for 26 years, and he's from Mexico. And I always talk about his Latino heat, and I always talk about my machismo. So he's Latino heat, and I'm machismo. It's a great partnership. You don't want none of us. Homeboy's got a body count too. He used to fight, bare knuckle fight in the streets in Mexico. He's got bullet wounds all over him. And he was a wild teenager, and he got out of there and came here and now makes a great living and, has great kids and all that. But he was on the verge of death when he was a kid and got into some pretty gnarly stuff. But he's a badass. He's our bodyguard. You don't come in our restaurant raising trouble when he's there, and he's always there. I always laugh. We rarely do have like unruly people, but I always just laugh. I'm like, I'll go get him. I'll go get Alex if you want me to. Like, you don't want that, but I will be happy to go get our enforcer and our muscle to come out here and remove you and your 12 friends. He's Haku. I swear to God, he's got that reputation, and it's cool to have him on your team. But he's got that Latino heat. Oh, I forgot about China's thing. You're looking good, China. Look how good she looks. That thing was pretty mind blowing. I mean, a fan catches one of those things in the face. I would think that China had to go through a fair amount of training and rehearsals to operate that thing. Even if they operate it and they got a trigger that they're firing it when she lifts it up, like I just still think you could. There's so much room for error there to blast a 9-year-old in the face with a green Roman candle. Dangerous back in the day, y'all. Y'all have no idea. I've talked about how The Rock injured my elbow by getting tossed in the barricade and bruising me up and hurting me for a few days, and crazy things would happen. NWO, beer bottles flying in the ring, batteries, all sorts of crap. And you went to the show and loved it, and you assumed the risk. And if you lost a tooth, that's what you get for going to the show. But now, Latino heat. Disco wouldn't be allowed in. I'd laugh at his face. I'm like, do you think we would let you eat here? Like, you belong at the Arby's. It's about 3 miles down that way. You hang a left, sit down, get some curly fries. That's where you belong. Oh yeah, the Eddie's just a touch smitten. So it's China and Too Cool. Very interesting partnership here. And Rikishi is involved in a whole nother match, I think, later on, right? So this is an interesting 6 competitor match here with China. But so Lawler's wife was in the last match and his son's in this one. That's interesting. I mean, Brian Christopher's backstage knowing that his stepmom is in a bikini sweaty mud thing. Ooh, Scotty with the moonwalk. Tag to China. She's here. Eddie gets out quickly, tags to Dean. So this is 3/4 of the Radicals here. It's still very, very new to see these guys in a WWE ring. And for a fan at the time was pretty awesome and pretty surreal. And to see them in there working with China. Look at Dean. He's laying his shots in on China. Grandmaster Sexy. Much love to Dean Malenko. Oh, China, get it, get it. I cannot believe that China never, ever spoke to her mom again after being a teenager. That's just crazy. Her mom seemed extremely unreasonable. I feel like if her mom would have been a little bit less uptight. Would she kick her out of the house for weed or something? Like, come on. Grandmaster. You'd think that this should be an easy win for the Radicals, but I don't know. I have no idea who wins this. Yeah, Right to Censor was being formed pretty soon, right? August 2000? They were at SummerSlam that year. I've heard that song in person many times. Oh, Saturn took on Sexay's headgear. It is weird seeing Christopher without his headgear. Yeah, Jim, please do. Oh yeah, what year did hats start being called lids? Lawler's explaining to Jim Ross the difference between a do rag and a lid. A do rag. I don't think it's a. I can't have a do rag if I have no do. What's it called for me? Just a rag? It's like the luge in the Olympics. It's like the bobsled, but there's no sled. It's just bob. Eddie, love this move. So smooth. You can see so much of Eddie in his son Dominic. So heartwarming to see. As far as I know, yeah, Smitty. I think China and Triple H were still together at this time, but it wasn't going to be long. I think Triple H and Stephanie were already kind of making smoochy face and shit with each other. Oh, a lot of that was probably happening right around this time, which sucks, but or at least starting to happen. Oh, Scotty's going to get a double worm chop on these guys. You know, it is funny how the universe works when you think about that, as Scotty is worming his way into the Radical's life here, literally. You know, the course of wrestling history was lots of courses, course direction changes in wrestling history have been because of booking decisions. But arguably the biggest one, like, what if they never even had the idea to involve Stephanie with Test and then have Triple H kidnap her and do that angle? What if Shane was more of a focal point with the angle with Vince than Stephanie, you know? And Stephanie was never really a part of it. And Stephanie and Triple H never really interacted or met or spent time together. Would they have still met and fallen in love? Probably not, you know? Probably not. Because Stephanie would remain either in other storylines, perhaps, or then she would move into an executive role and then she would be his boss. And, you know, that whole angle, that Armageddon 1999 angle, without it, without Vince winning you could trace it all the way back, right, to the after SummerSlam when he won the title on SmackDown. I mean, it all kind of started there. And had they not decided to go with Vince and Triple H in a feud, basically, and just had Triple H continue to feud with Austin, and then when he got hurt, feud with The Rock or Big Show or whatever, and Vince wasn't a part of it, you have to wonder if they'd even be together, and then how that trickles down and affects the life of China. Maybe her and Triple H stayed together longer and got married, and maybe they're still happily married to this day. That could all be true had it not been for Vince McMahon versus Triple H in 1999. That's crazy. If you believe in the multiverse, that reality exists somewhere. And it would be cool to visit there. And yeah, you're right. And sometimes things just happen for a reason as well. I'm an agnostic atheist, but I've had some instances in my life where I feel like I've had some really stupidly good luck, or someone has been looking out for my stupidity and has saved me a couple times. And it's been like really weird. Like I've fallen ass backwards into good opportunities and shit like that a couple times where I'm like, why would this happen? You know, it feels like it could have easily gone the other way. And I feel like whoever's programming my life, thanks for helping me out because, oh man. Look at it. She hits two of them and they both were pretty good too. China could do those, but sometimes they're rough. Double nut shot. Oh, Eddie, don't hit your girl. You guys still got to go to have they gone to the prom yet? I don't think they've gone to the prom yet. Oh, no. Ooh, China wardrobe. Big power bomb. Eddie had kind of ripped her gear, it looks like. You better go home quickly, people, because China. Oh, no. Oh, no. China has got herself a handful of Latino heat, and she's pressing him up. China has got to be just all sorts of distracted with that, with those pants coming off like that. Ooh. God, she is really. And she pinned him. And she pinned him with her pants falling down. Again, I'm curious if they went home early there, because China could not have wrestled much longer with that gear. China and Too Cool pick up the win. All right, guys. Elizabeth is about to leave. I'm going to step away and go say goodbye to her real quick. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. All right, we're here. Thank you for that. I didn't catch the segment I just missed. How do I turn this off? There we go. Damn, Big Show looking ripped. Big nasty bastard. Hmm. Big nasty bastard. If there's one dude that ain't winning tonight, it's you. Oh, Backlund is the one that's responsible for both titles, and he put the chicken wing on Backlund. I mean, give me 1980 Backlund against 2002 Kurt Angle or something. Oh my God. Oh my God. That would be good. Kurt explaining it. That's very nice of Kurt to offer to sign autographs for the extra security during his championship celebration later in the crowd. That Kurt, he's always thinking ahead. And that's what makes him a sharp champion. Another goofy ass match here. No reason to have two championship matches in one here on the same card where you had, what, 8 title changes in a battle royal or whatever. Here comes Jericho. Oh, no, Victor, I probably missed that. Sorry, dude. I'll scroll up there and check that out. What's Y2J going to say? Why do I think, Victor, I'm reading your comment right now. Thanks for that. You have an idea for a members only watch along? What if we watched Raw from August 24th, 1998? That Raw had the Hell in a Cell match with Mankind and Kane. I think that was a pretty good Raw. Why do I think we've already watched that? I've either done a review on that. How many years I've been doing? I forget what I did. Don't I have a video on that up? Maybe that's a different show. But that show sounds familiar to me. Yeah, I have a review of it. 4 years ago. Wow. And the thumbnail is D'Lo and Owen holding China as Rock talks shit to her. Wow. All right, let's listen to Jericho. We can still do a watch along of that, though. It's a good idea. Kirk Angel. I forgot about Kirk Angel. Again. Here comes Benoit. I liked this theme of his before they hard rocked it up or whatever they did to it. I liked his WCW theme too. Such a shame every time you look at him. And if WrestleMania 20 does indeed win that poll next week, we're going to be looking at a lot of Benoit. 100 votes, 112 votes on that poll we put up just a little bit ago. 62% WrestleMania 20. Looks like we're going to be doing WrestleMania 20 unless WrestleMania 8 makes a comeback. However, though, since it was revealed that WrestleMania 20 is 4.5 hours long, I also have a members only plan next week. So what we might do is we'll do. Oh, they're doing the Howard Finkel introduction. It did not. So that seemed like it was Howard piped in over that. I got to think about how to structure next week. We might do whatever comes in second place. We might do that next week after the members only watch along, and then the following week do WrestleMania 20. So WrestleMania 20 will get done, but I might bump it one more week since it's 4.5 hours long. And if we have a members only schedule that same day, that's a bit much. So maybe if like WrestleMania 14 wins, then we'll do what was suggested. We'll do the Raw before Mania, then maybe 14 next week, and then the following week we'll do WrestleMania 20. That might be how we do it, but I got to think about it. To T. Hmm. I remember thinking at the time, I know I at least mentioned it to friends back then, is that this was so special to me as a fan seeing Benoit and Jericho in the company. I thought that was so cool because I really liked them in WCW. I always wished I would see them in WWE one day. I always thought WWE could do great things with them. And to see them there at the same time that this new fella, Kirk Angel, is getting on the map. Also, Taz is in and Eddie and all this. It was just glorious for me. And I felt like Jericho and Benoit could be like your Savage Steamboat Intercontinental title match. And as much as I liked all three of these guys, I just felt like you could have spread them out. You could have had Angle defend his European title against Malenko or something. Maybe not Eddie, because Eddie was messing around with China. And then have Jericho and Benoit battle for the IC. You could have spread out two amazingly memorable singles championship matches on this show without combining two belts and three guys. It's just, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? This would be, somebody did mention about rebooking. This would be an excellent pay per view to rebook because I can think of 1,000 better things to do than what they've done here. But one problem I might have, though, is not being too, I can't remember too much about some of the builds. Like, I can't remember why Bull Buchanan and what's his face even wrestled Godfather, but oh, big bump by Jericho off the top. Hmm. Yeah, the more I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to take that advice that you guys had mentioned. We're going to do WrestleMania 14 next week. I think we'll do Raw before Mania, then we'll for members only, then we'll do the main show, and the week after that we'll do WrestleMania 20 for probably our finale before the big show. And I can put links up to all of that tomorrow, so I'll have all the rest of the links up and ready to rock. But we'll still think about it. Another problem having both titles on the line, I feel like that takes away from having a good match because like it's more about Angle having both of his titles on the line and how you're going to execute him losing both of those. And I almost feel like the actual match is secondary when it should be the most important thing considering the talent in there. I just feel like this whole thing was just done wrong. I mean, in the end, it works for the fans because Angle loses both of his belts here to both of these guys. It's just could have been better. Mario DeRose, appreciate that $5, my friend. Thank you for that. I owe Stone Cold a shout out too. Yeah, I gotta do two of them. Let's start with you, Mario. Why WWF still pushing Big Show at this point? He has the belt and bombed for a few months prior. I don't know if they're necessarily pushing him. He's a main event guy. I mean, Big Show's 7 feet, 500 pounds. He's not, uh, you know, a curtain jerker. So he's just involved. I don't think they ever plan on putting the belt on him. But again, I think that was already done the previous year. But he's still going to be getting title shots and opportunities. And it wouldn't be long because right after this, he would kind of go into that, impression thing. He would do Hogan and he would come out dressed as guys. And then he disappeared. They sent him down to OVW because of his attitude and shit like that. And he came back the following year. So I don't think WWE was overusing him at this point. I think they realized he was kind of a flop as champion. They took the belt off of him. They paired him with Shane, trying to, move him into, different directions. And then they sent him down to get some more work in OVW. So I don't think the fans at that time or even now have any issue with how he was used here. He was another guy to have another McMahon. You got to have all those McMahons part of it, right? I mean, I think at one time Jericho was supposed to be maybe involved in that main event. But so many things changed. You know what I could do also? I could put up another poll on YouTube because after WrestleMania, then we're into backlash territory. How many classic backlashes have there been? You know what I mean? Or April pay-per-views. There have been some. I think we need to watch Unforgiven. Or we watched both of them. We might have watched both of them. I think we did. There might be an April pay-per-view to watch, but I'll put up a poll on YouTube and say, for the month of April, continue with WrestleManias or do backlashes and shit. See what you guys say. We could just keep going. We could do WrestleMania 2 and the other ones all through the month of April as well. We don't have to stop. And then maybe in May, we can watch some King of the Rings, some Judgment Days. We're definitely doing Judgment Day 2003 this year because I was at that show. But we could keep doing Manias in April if you want. Angle over the barricade. So he's a far cry. He's got to lose both these belts here. Well, I guess he's not. He can lose by not being pinned too. So, wow. Big headbutt. Angle is somehow, and he won. It's weird that the Intercontinental title is the first fall. That's another thing that's weird. Like just a weird booking decision. The European title should be the first fall. IC should be the second. Why is it backwards? So it sucks because you ruin the moment. Well, I guess it would be ruined anyway because of what Benoit did. But you ruin the moment of having the Intercontinental title change hands at WrestleMania. You ruin the moment of having one of the best wrestlers in the world ever beat one of the other best wrestlers in the world ever for that Intercontinental title. And then the bell rings and the next fall starts. You just lose the moment that you could have created there. You could have just had 2 matches. And Benoit would have had a great celebration. He'd be celebrating right now with the crowd. His music would be playing. He'd be holding up the belt. They'd be cheering. It'd be a great moment for him. And then you have a European title match later. Big belly to back. Big floating moonsault. He was so good at that. Very familiar with the canvas. That he did. Stone Cold, where is your comment? There it is. Thank you for that $5 several minutes ago. I have a soft spot for this Mania. It was the first one my family ordered on pay-per-view. Wow. That I can understand because you're always going to have a soft spot for that first pay-per-view. Mine was WrestleMania 4. It was the first pay-per-view I ever ordered. And that was special for me. I told the story a couple weeks ago when we watched that. When did we do that? Yeah, we did WrestleMania 3, and then it was 4 prior to that. Yeah. Yeah, about 1 month ago. That's got good views. And I've got a Winged Eagle podcast last month that's got like 50,000 views on it for some reason. That WrestleMania 4 watch along's got 15,000. Did pretty good on those. Not bad. Not bad, Nicholas. Yeah, Kurt did the best moonsaults. I saw the cage match one live. I was there in Richmond sitting on the floor behind the announce desk. And so it looked phenomenal with him just floating off of the top. Big power bomb. Lift him up again and do it. Come on, Jericho. Poor Angle is just getting screwed here. Ooh. Stone Cold, thanks for 5 more. You like the Fatal 4-Way match stipulation. Wish they did more of it. I didn't know we had a lack of Fatal 4-Way matches. I thought it was something that's still routinely done. Feels like it is anyway. I wasn't aware of a Fatal 4-Way shortage. No, his shoulder's not even close to down. I'm kind of on Lawler's side, just like I was on Jesse's side, talking about Savage getting screwed at Mania 3. Tim White. Oh, Tim White eats a flying forearm from Jericho. Down he goes. Jericho's tapping. No ref. Oh, that's a good idea, Tatanani. We should single out a ECW or WCW. I didn't think about that in April. Yeah, we're gonna start. We'll think about it. But that's a good point. That's a really good point. I kind of forgot about that. We should bust out a spring stampede or something. Oof. Go back to Edmonton. What's in Edmonton? That's where he lives. He lives in Atlanta, I think. Oh, Fatal 4-Way elimination. Oh, yeah, I guess is that what the main event is, right? Yeah. I kind of forgot. Sometimes you can do elimination. Ooh. Jericho has won the European title. So Jericho and Benoit both walk out with gold. Angle loses both of his titles. It's all right, Angle. This will be one of your few bad moments in the company. You're going to be in the main event of SummerSlam 8 months after debuting, so you're good. Oh, yeah, Barely Legal. 26-year anniversary of that. I think we should watch Barely Legal. I remember watching that. I ordered that pay-per-view that night, and I got home late. I was trying to rush home. I set my VCR to record it and pre-ordered it and came home right as they were throwing the streamers in the ring. Yeah, Kurt didn't get pinned at all. So he's going to be shouting conspiracy. I don't know who Cody's first challenger, if he does beat Roman Reigns. It might be Roman Reigns. It just depends on what Roman's motivation will be if something happens at the end of the main event that puts Roman's focus elsewhere, like revenge on Jay, or revenge on Jimmy, or whatever, or revenge on Sammy. Ooh, Vince. Will I be a factor? God, Vince is young back then. Look at him. He was only 56, maybe. Takeover War Games 2018. I was there too. I am the game. Who talks to their wife like this? Don't ask a question and then yourself a question, then answer it. Seems to turn Stephanie on, but that's the pond right there. It's so beautiful here. It's ridiculous. Palm trees, sunshine. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Run DMC. I'm gonna eat the rest of this thing. I better turn this down. Here comes X Pac and Road Dogg. This is going to be the match that's going to have Kane involved, I bet. Tori looks amazing. That Jezebel Tori. Stone Cold, I do not think that's an unpopular opinion. I think everybody likes Triple H's theme during this time. My time is my favorite Triple H theme ever. I like it even more than the Motorhead themes. It just, I love those days when he had that theme. It was just a great time. A lot of memories. So I think a lot of people feel that way. So no, I don't think that's unpopular at all. I think that's popular. Right? Back me up. My time's awesome, right? I thought it was cool that Run DMC did that theme because I mean they go way back. They were like did the WrestleMania rap at WrestleMania 5. Road Dogg and Xbox still hanging in there. And here comes Rakishi. Little did we know, this man was a felon. Attempted murder on Stone Cold Steve Austin just months ago, and the fans have no clue. As far as they know, this is a fun dancing heel or fun dancing babyface, excuse me. All is right with the world. Completely unaware of the troubled, dark soul that exists in Rikishi and what would drive him to run down another man in cold blood. Here comes Paul Bearer. I liked this version of Paul Bearer when he came back to join Kane. He was involved. That the night that he came back, I think there was some. Wasn't that the great 10-man tag with the Radicals and Paul Bearer came back with Kane? I remember that being one of my favorite Raws of all time. I thought it was so good. Refresh my memory on that 10-man tag on Raw when that took place. I'm pretty sure it was right before this. Paul Bearer had been off TV for a while. Kane had been also off TV, I think, right? And he came back with Paul Bearer. And they interrupted the 10-man tag or something. Right? Oh, Paul Bearer still got the dark hair, but he's got a lot less of the dead man makeup. Looks like he's got normal skin complexion this time, which is nice for him. Kane's got Tori. He came out and rescued Paul Bearer, who was being assaulted by Tori. Ugh. I just would not want to take that move. Yeah, crowd seems hot for this match. They're hot for the prospect of Tori eating a stink face. That's nice. It's only March, and poor Tori's going to get pink eye twice in the same year. Ooh. I'm trying to figure out how to do it, but one members only idea I had is watching like a year of Raw. Um, just one show at a time. Try to do. Oh my God, Lawler, Jesus! Try to do anywhere from 2 to 4 a month if I could. I think 2 is realistic, and then anything more than 2 would be extra. Might have to do them on off days when not everybody can watch, but at least they're there for to watch on demand. If I've got a Wednesday afternoon free or Thursday afternoon free or something like that, or sometime we can try to knock them out. I don't really want to I don't really want to pre-record them. I could, because then I can just do them whenever and release them to you guys. But I feel like it's more fun live. Oh yeah, could do them on Mondays before Raw, since I'm not doing that. Actually, is probably a good place for them. Doing them on Mondays before Monday Night Raw. Maybe at like 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. Knock it out. Ooh. I guess it would be 3 Pacific. Excuse me. Again, another just bizarre match. Kane and Rikishi. Like the fact that these matches were made for WrestleMania. For WrestleMania. Like it just feels like another show. Every match on this card has felt like another show, with the exception of maybe the tag title match, which was insane. But like the rest of this, it's just matches. Oh yeah, or we could just be doing them Sundays before the watch along. Sundays make sense. I was thinking that those days would be occupied with other shit for other members only, but not really. We can just do them there, where we've been already doing them. And then maybe an occasional one on Monday for a bonus. So yeah, keeping them on Sundays is the way to go. You're right. Can Tori avoid this big ass? For the love of God. Tombstone on X-Pac. That's it. Kane is victorious. Yeah, Leo, that's actually a good idea too. You could always do like WrestleMania to WrestleMania, if we wanted to do that. Take it week by week. We might extend we might change the rules on that. We might make it members only chat. maybe. And maybe let it open for everybody to watch, but just you guys can talk just to help out the views a little bit. Because stuff like that could help get more subscribers. Oh, here's the chicken. It's time. I forgot about Pete Rose. I completely forgot about Pete Rose. That's why it's good to think out loud. You guys help me kind of develop ideas in my head a little bit. All right. So Pete Rose, this is the third year now. Oh wait, maybe this isn't Pete Rose. Is this a yeah, see, yeah, this is not Pete Rose. He's way too energetic. That bird is moving around way too much. There's no way that's Pete Rose. Kane isn't going to dance. What happens here? Maybe that is Pete Rose. I don't know what the hell. I forgot what happened. I've not watched this WrestleMania in so many years. Kane's not going to boogie? The chicken's going to dance. Yeah, that's not Pete Rose. Yeah, Pete seems real light on his feet. He was back in the day. I mean, maybe 1977 Pete Rose could do some of this stuff, but not 2000 Pete Rose. Might be Hector Guerrero. It very well could be. I'd be hot as shit in that thing. I'd be so hot. Yeah, look at Pete Rose. Look at the moves he's got. Yeah, Pete's got to probably run in after this. Pete attacked Kane in a chicken suit the previous year, right? Because I remember that when I was at the show being way up in the upper deck saying, that's fucking Pete Rose. I guarantee it. Then bringing him back in, and then it was revealed to be him. Did they take this fella's head off? Oh, no. Can't he tell this is not Pete Rose? Oh, no. Oh, he was going to hit him with it. Oh, no. What a sport Pete Rose is. Taking a choke slam. Oh, Paul Bearer. Two Cool's back out there with their outfits. Mm. Oh, he was choking the chicken, wasn't he? Kane might be choking his charred chicken. I'm not sure. Oh, he's going to stink face him. So the poor guy has to get a stink face and. Ooh. Well, at least they're being kind. He's not, his nose isn't way up there. See, if Pete Rose would have never gambled on baseball, he would have never been banned. He would have been enshrined in the Hall of Fame and regarded as, one of the greatest of all times, and would have never had to associate with WWE at all. All because of betting. If you just wouldn't have bet on those games, that ass crack would not have been in your face, Pete. You got nobody to blame but yourself. Even though I think the lifetime ban is ludicrous. And Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. He isn't. Yeah, Paul had slimmed down a bit. I think he got the surgery. Looked really good at that time. But I feel like he always just really struggled with the weight stuff. Oh, there's the Rock. This where Rock's doing that. That was my first thumbnail, and I couldn't get it right. The resolution just I I tried to screen cap this and I just couldn't get it quite the way I wanted. So I went with Triple H and Stephanie instead. I was like, I don't often get a thumbnail with Kevin Kelly on it. And I was looking forward to it, but it was not to be. I've got a whole folder of thumbnails that never saw the light of day. It's a great rock. Peak rock, as Ray calls it. Yeah, Kane shaking his head was cute. I wish I could put myself back in these times. This was so great. I'm like, not 6 years ago, I was watching the most soulless product, and here we are. We got guys like The Rock and Austin and these characters, these matches, the talent. All right. And it is getting close to match time here for Hi, we see you, lady. Triple H. I always laughed at some of the signs when I would go to shows. I'm like, what are you thinking when you're writing these signs? Like, you might be able to see it in your living room. Oh, Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace. That is Rock's wife right there. Pretty sure that's Danny. Oh, yeah. And there's Martin Short and Screech. That's cool. Screech and Martin Short. Martin Short at WrestleMania. Who's this? Oh, yeah. French Stewart. Who's the girl? That's cool. It's not LA or Hollywood, but close enough. All right. Here we go. I didn't realize how long this match is going to be. Foley coming to the ring with Linda is so weird. She's wearing a business suit. Like, she should be out there wearing like a WrestleMania wife beater or something. And some leggings. Gloves on her hand, ready to bitch slap some mofos. But no, she's got earrings. Big ovation for Foley. I mean, I suppose that was cool. They did make a big deal about it not being Mankind, not being Cactus Jack, but Mick Foley. But I kind of like the idea of Cactus Jack being in the main event. I mean, that's the name that he made a big part of his career and built a big part of his career on. I thought that would have been nice enough, even more nice than his real name. Or when Jericho debuted shortly after he debuted, he called him Mike Foley. Mike Foley, Vance McMahon, Kirk Angel, Vivian Garcia. Jericho's the best. Shane, why is your jacket too big? Look at his jacket. He looks like a he looks like an 8-year-old who can't dress himself. I haven't tortured myself with a sport coat in many years, but I absolutely hate wearing that shit. It became a very unreasonable hate. Like I just despise sports coats, ties, shit like that. I'll never wear it unless I have to. If I'm your best man in your wedding or I'm a groomsman, which I've been many times, I'll do it. But I'll never do it by choice. When I moved here to California, when I went job searching, I'm like, I need a place where I don't have to wear that shit. And I found it. I can wear whatever I want. Oh, we're getting another fade to black here for The Rock's entrance. And see, just seeing all these McMahons come out is just, they're in the way. You know, Vince trying to power walk down there like a baby face after last year's higher power bullshit. He thinks he's fooling anybody. Like, you're full of shit. You've already screwed and turned on everybody before. He'll do it again next year. He's involved in a sketchy ass main event. Oh, nice. Thanks for that update. WWE's at MSG tonight in a battle royal. Dominic eliminated Ray. Love it. In a chorus of boos. I mentioned yesterday in the podcast, I would love to see Dominic attack Ray at the Hall of Fame like Ray never, last couple weeks on TV, leading to WrestleMania, still not attacking Ray, still refusing to fight him. But then after he gets attacked at the Hall of Fame, he gets up and gets on the mic and says, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, so Stephanie must have just won the title because they referred to her as the new champion. Stone Cold 10X, thank you so much for another very generous super chat drop. Appreciate that. $10 from you, my friend. I know you're not a big fan of the main event, Greg, but I always enjoyed it. I was legit shocked when Vince hit Rock with the chair. Maybe it's because I was 10, so I couldn't see it coming. Exactly. That's why. I just said a minute ago, after what Vince did the previous year, you should have seen it coming, but I wouldn't have seen it coming at age 10 either. And we just watched WrestleMania 3 2 weeks ago. I was age 10 during that, and thinking about where my mind was at that time and how I was perceiving the storylines. It's different than how you are now once you've been watching for all these years. So don't be ashamed, Stone Cold. When I was a kid, I used to think that the whole reason that the Ultimate Warrior wore face paint is so when he gets too old, somebody can take his place. Mm-hmm. I thought that was why they did it. Oh, now they can always have this character. He'll always be here. And that little weird dream actually came true a few years later with Razor and Diesel. All right, here we go. They're in there. Earl, rightfully so, is our referee. I mean, it's got a lot of energy. It does have the fans' attention. We were watching. But thus far, this WrestleMania has been a letdown. Thank you, Mick Foley sign. Big thank you, Mick Foley sign. One of my favorite signs ever at WrestleMania is at WrestleMania 8. Somebody just lifts up a big bed sheet or something that says 4 Horsemen on it. And I loved it. I'm like, that's so awesome. I mean, seeing Flair in the company already was weird. He had brought the belt with him. That was even weirder. Now you're getting 4 Horsemen signs on WrestleManias and stuff. It was crazy. Foley getting some revenge on Triple H after their last 2 pretty brutal pay-per-view matches. Yeah, there were rumors about being 2 Warriors, 2 Undertakers too, 2 Canes. I'll never forget this woman I used to kind of co-host a half-ass podcast with, or a hotline with, back in the day. She was super nice, and never met her in person, but we spoke on the phone all the time because we had to record the stuff together. And I guess now I understand like what it's like to really have to argue with like a flat earther or something, or somebody that's just there's some sort of just neutral zone around their head. And she was convinced that there were two Undertakers. And I'm like, no. And I just kind of laugh. No, no, you don't understand. And she was so persistent and she was offended that I shrugged it off so nonchalant. And we got into arguments about it. And I remember her like saying, "You, how can you be this blind? All the signs are there." I'm like, you realize this is a matter of public record? Just look up Mark Calloway's family history, find out if he has a twin somewhere. Um, Otherwise, he's going to have an identical twin in the world that exists. And I just think that's extremely unlikely that WWE would find another guy, same height, same build, same voice, same hair, same face. But they did try it. We had two Undertakers as well at SummerSlam 94. But she never thought this other one was Brian Lee. She thought there was a second Undertaker during the Ministry days, like in 1999. She was convinced there was two. I bought into two Kanes for like 2 months because Kane had some changes to his physique. I think in like 99, like mid 99, he was skinny and lanky looking. And I was like, shit, maybe there is another one. But then I started thinking better of it. Oh, dick kick by Foley. We should be calling this match a little bit more. All the action's been in the ring thus far. 4 guys in the ring, 4 McMahons out. Yeah, my point is, Brian, this was years after the Brian Lee thing. This was like 5 years after that. And this woman's claiming that there's 2 of them and was talking to me like I'm the dumb one. And I just remember her saying, like, you don't get it. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. I'm like, this is asinine. This is ridiculous. And it's easily disproven. It's not a conspiracy. People who just want to believe shit will just believe it no matter how ludicrous sometimes. And I'm like, you're just not making sense. All right. Are we going to get a 3-way beatdown? Yeah. What was weird about this match, too, is I think it was the previous week, The Rock hosted SNL and all these guys were on the show, getting along in skits together. And it was great for WWE. You're never going to pass up that type of publicity and exposure. But this is your main event. It was just weird. I couldn't imagine last year. Well, maybe I could. Maybe Brock and Roman Reigns having some SNL skit together. I actually probably could. It's not that weird, but you know when Triple H came down out of the crowd and shook Rock's hand, told him to break a leg, and ooh, rock bottom. Is the show going to be the first one out? Yes. So I thought Foley was the first one out. I guess he's second. Down goes Shane. God, Shane looks a lot like Vince when he's on his ass like that. Smitty, no, I don't full blown believe in any of the main conspiracy theories. The moon landing happened, shit like that. Not into any of that stuff. Bye, Big Show. It's a real shame you're leaving. We'd love for you to stick around. All right, now this is one hell of a triple threat. Mick Foley, The Rock, and Triple H. Again, I would have been fine with this as opposed to the Big Show. I think the only reason the Big Show was in there was to occupy all the McMahons, which is nuts. Triple H trying to Yeah, 2001 Kane was different than 99 Kane. Look at the two of them side by side. They're very different physically. Kane was jacked in '01. We're going to do, guys. Look at Earl. Earl looks like he's the fourth guy in the match. Triple H is trying to convince The Rock to team up and take out McFoley. I like how they do sign language, and Rock's like into it. Fuck yeah. Triple H, you idiot. Cerebral my ass. Triple H asked The Rock to team up, and Rock was like, yeah, sure, without hesitation. Triple H didn't doubt that at all. And now The Rock and Sock connection for the last time. So we thought they would link up again 4 years later. In a show that we're going to be watching in 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, I kind of agree with those who say I always liked the Big Show, but it is kind of crazy that he didn't have a bigger career, because when he was in WCW, I remember at that age I was pretty impressed with him, and I was like, damn, he's the real deal. He has the size and he can do athletically things Andre could never do. Andre had his moments when he was younger. He could move. He was pretty quick, but Big Show's climbing on the top rope and shit, doing drop kicks and regularly, where Andre was, he'd throw an occasional drop kick when he was younger, but it wasn't a regular thing. And Big Show just had the mass and the size, and he was just huge. But WCW was probably not the best environment for him, just like it wasn't the best environment for Goldberg. If those guys both got over to that same degree, but it did it in WWE instead, with those locker rooms and a Vince McMahon and and the agents and the just people there that wouldn't allow the politicking BS in WCW to get to the degree it did. You'd have your Shawn Michaels and guys like that there being dicks, but it would have been a much better environment for young prodigies like that, I think. This Big Show would have attitude problems. Goldberg would have all sorts of problems, attitude problems with everybody. They were in a locker room with a guy like The Undertaker and guys like that. They might have been straightened out. Barbed wire 2x4 returns. 3 pay-per-views in a row, I believe, for that particular weapon. There's Rock taking out Triple H. This is a long-ass match. How long is this pay-per-view? This pay-per-view is still another 33 minutes long. Damn. That's a long match. Foley just happens to have a convenient, trusty sock. Clean sock, not even dirty. I mean, that would have been pretty cool. Also, like, if you would have booked this for Foley to beat Triple H right here. Triple H now lost his title and he's eliminated, and it's down to Foley and The Rock. And The Rock beats him, and the two embrace. Oh, and Foley locks in mandible claw. Like, think of the birds, the stone, the birds that would have killed with that one stone. It could have given Foley a little bit of revenge on Triple H for ending his career, but he beats him on the way out the door, causing Triple H to lose his title, pitting him one on one with his friend. And he does the honors for his friend and he gets beat clean this time without any shenanigans. And Rock beats him, and then Foley hands him the belt after the match and congratulates him. And it's Foley's goodbye, and it's The Rock's. Think about the love. I mean, that would be up there with Benoit and Eddie at WrestleMania 20. I mean, the fans, the tears, all of that stuff. I should do a video and just completely rebook this WrestleMania. We could come up with some fun stuff. Idiots, WWE. Jeez. And then after that, you can still do Rock and Triple H. Like, you'd literally have to change nothing. You could still do the Backlash match, maybe just with Rock retaining with Austin's help. And then you do the Iron Man match with Triple H winning it back. It would have been so much better. Oh yeah, it all worked out. Like, that Backlash match was great and it was one of the better moments in WWE, but it wasn't without its flaws either. I feel like you could have still had that moment at WrestleMania, and what I described would have been just as great as the forced Austin return that happened the next month. The only reason that match worked so well is because of how over Austin was. He came out there looking out of shape. He didn't need to be there. The Rock was white hot. He was super over. He could have just won the match without Austin's help and still received a huge pop. And you could still have Austin come back, and you can still do the whole match. Just like I said, just have Rock be defending the title and Austin comes out and helps him retain it. Same crowd reaction. Oh, and then Triple H would go out on Raw the next night. This is fucking horseshit. You didn't beat me at WrestleMania, and Austin helped me beat you, or help you beat me at Backlash. So I propose an Iron Man match. We'll really find out we'll really find out who's the best. Like, the storyline wouldn't not have been disrupted at all to do that. Basically, I feel like you could have had your cake and eaten it too, doing it that way. You make this moment way better and probably create one of the most memorable WrestleMania main event or finishes of all time, with Foley and Rock having that moment. And then you still get everything else that they did anyway. Maybe the Backlash match would not have been quite as memorable, but if you bring Austin out there to help Rock retain, it's still going to be a pretty big deal. And then the Iron Man match, Undertaker comes out, the whole deal. You can still hot potato the belt, just with one less title change. Or no, the same amount, I guess. Yeah, James is right too, and I can attest to that because I remember what the fans were saying at this time. This was probably the beginning of Triple H winning matches that the fans felt he should have lost. This definitely started it. Like, it planted a lot of those early seeds of heat with Triple H in the fans. Oof. And then a few years later, he would move into his reign of terror where he was just winning and winning and winning. But I never really had a problem with it. It's just establishing Triple H as one of the best world champions in company history. That way, when he puts people over later, it carries more weight. And that's exactly what he did. Sure, he had his reign of terror, but look at what he did in 2005, 2006. Jobbed his nuts off. Don't disrespect your mother, young lady. I thought Triple H was now. Why would Mick Foley even entertain this? Like there should still be a shit ton of bad blood here between Foley and Triple H, and Foley seems to be taking direction. Oh my God, Foley. One final bump, or at least so we thought. Oh, that was terrible. That was an absolutely terrible table dive. Oh, the table's broken. Oh, what a mess. This WrestleMania, man, I tell you, not a good one. Oh, there you go. You finally broke it. Foley looked like he hit his sternum right on the announce table there. I think JR's having a replay. Oh. He's connected that before, right? Has he been able to make that? But I don't know what that shiny shit on Hugo's shirt is. And this is going to be a sad end for Mick Foley. Oh, he did kick out. I was thinking that was just it for him. That table's still coming apart over there. Oh, yeah. I got to answer another super chat earlier from Stone Cold. Did I not get that one earlier? I kind of thought at the time that Vince wouldn't betray Rock due to their history in the corporation. Oh, okay. So that makes sense why it surprised you so much. Well, that's a good, at least you were thinking at that age, like you were thinking back to the history that they had. And that's it. Pedigree on the chair does Mick Foley in. And a lot of fans, I think, thought that he was going to win that night. I kind of half-assed did too, like I said earlier. I think I kind of predicted him to win because I was like, why would they just unretire him to come back in and lose again? That's it. He's out. And I do believe they were also kind of selling this as Mick Foley's last match, saying that even if he won the title, that might not necessarily mean he was going to be champion and defend it. It was his last match, regardless of win, lose, or draw. So that would have been weird anyway, but I still kind of thought they might do it. Foley's been champ before, wouldn't be that weird. Is he going back? Hmm. Oh, he's got the barbed wire. Is he going to bloody Triple H up? So you have Triple H blades. Yep, he's blading. He's blading and blading good. I don't see too much blood on Triple H, but he definitely gaffed. Triple H kicks out. Yeah, it's Rock and Triple H now. So now we should be coming upon the big, I guess, betrayal. But there's still somehow 20. Why am I seeing so much time? Is there a post show? There just must be a lot of post match activity, is what I'm thinking. Damn, you can hear Michael Clark Duncan. I have never seen The Green Mile. I don't want to. I don't like sad shit. I have seen, what's the movie? Whole Nine Yards, Bruce Willis. He's in that. Amanda Pete. Yeah, if I had to guess, I think it's going to be Triple H. When he retains, Rock's going to probably fight back. They might send the fans home relatively happy here. I don't know how it goes off the air, but it's probably like a post match brawl or something. Maybe Rock gets his hands on Vince. Stephanie's going to eat a rock bottom, apparently, says Juliet. So good. You know what else I haven't seen, Leo? I haven't seen Saving Private Ryan either. So I haven't seen The Green Mile or Saving Private Ryan, but I've seen Freddy Got Fingered 3 times. Yeah, y'all are the ones that subscribe to me, so don't blame me. I still don't see any blood on Triple H. Rock holding them steps. Oh, Christ. Railroad spike, right? I don't know how they. Oh, wow. This is going to be what? Pedigree on the steps or pile driver on the steps? Oh, that was no super gnarly. I knew that was going to be something like Taker and Shawn. Royal Rumble. You know when Shawn got injured in that casket match in 98? Now we know the story because they retell it over and over how Shawn went over the top rope, clipped his back on this casket, and that's what caused the injury. Before we knew that, all we knew was Shawn was injured at that Royal Rumble in that match. So I always thought it was on the pile driver because he pile drives Undertaker on the steps, and Shawn's 230 soaking wet, and Undertaker's 300 pounds, and he came down all his weight. And even when Shawn's ass hit the steps, you heard like a smack, like a crack. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if he cracked something or screwed something up. I always thought it was the pile driver that did it. And then he would reveal in interviews and stuff that it was the backdrop over the top rope. But it's a dangerous spot, not one I'd want to do. A good way to break your tailbone. Oh, pedigree. He's going to go over the top rope. So obvious. Oh, there goes Triple H. Good. Wow. That was a bump by Triple H. They're trying to make this match good. They're trying to give the fans a few crazy spots here. Daddy, would you like some sausages? What a stupid ass movie. Me and my old roommate, we used to trip out watching it. They're in the crowd now. I've had a few up close and personal encounters with the Rock at shows. It's been crazy how close he's brawled to me before a few times. Same with Mick Foley. I was right there in the thick of that Foley Funk match in Richmond, right after when Dude Love fought Obb in '98. It was like that Falls Count Innerwear deal. They came right by me. It was the best. I think these guys were supposed to face at Survivor Series '98. Come on, Triple H. Got her old Stephanie voice. Or her young Stephanie voice, I should say. Stone Cold is that when that comes out. I keep hearing a lot about WWE's game, AEW's game, but I don't know about any release dates because I don't play video games. But that's good to know. Tuesday is the day. That's really close. You video game people should be really happy and excited. You people. That video gamist? I don't think so. Suplex. I'm. Oh, that was a good suplex through the table. Well executed. Looks like both guys are protected. They're fine. What's funnier is the sign behind them that says, "Hi, Mom, you asshole." Oh, fans. That's why they're the best. The game community. The game community. That's a good one. That's somethingist. I don't know what, but Ice Barry. Good to see you, man. 2K23 tomorrow. Hawaii doesn't do daylight savings time, I don't think. So I'm pretty sure you're only 2 hours difference from me now. We're closer together, Barry. Ooh. Oh, Shane's back. So this is what doesn't makes even less sense. Oh, and there's Shane. So like, why go through all this if Vince is going to turn and he's in on it with Triple H? Why is he posting him? Now Vince is going to get busted open because Shane just rammed him into the monitor. So Vince will blade. Probably. He's covering his head, so it makes me think he's blading. Or he's about to. Ugh. Even in the year 2000, they were still using those honking ass monitors. Shout out to my dad. Dad passed away in 2019. And I remember years ago, he wanted to buy me a birthday present. He's like, what kind of computer monitor do you have? And it was like when flat screens first started coming out. He's like, do you have one of those honking ass monitors? And I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, the big monitors. I'm like, yeah. He goes, I want to send you a flat screen one. And I'm like, okay. And he sent me a flat screen. He got me into them. And ever since then, I've said honking, big honking monitors. And that's what those things are on the announce. Now Vince is fighting back. He's not, it looks like, yeah, Vince is busted open. Like, none of this shit is necessary. And Vince has already attacked Triple H. And they're trying to tell me that this whole thing, like Triple H and Vince are and Stephanie are all in on it together right now. Like Vince doesn't spontaneously make this decision, does he? Shane's got a chair. I mean, do they stay at odds here because Shane and Vince wrestle at WrestleMania 17? Do they come back together and split up in that next year, or do they remain at odds the whole time? I kind of forgot. I guess Vince kind of goes away for a while. Look how mad Michael Clark Duncan is. You better be careful, Shane. I'm pretty sure he'd eat you for lunch. Laying a green mile. So now they're taking Vince away. Oh, Pat. It's Pat and Gerald, the Stooges. I didn't even realize that they were out there. Oh, yeah. Vince in the interview, right? He said he vows to make things right, whatever the hell that means. So now it looks like all of the McMahons are gone. And we're finally down to a one-on-one match between Triple H and The Rock, which is nice. Hmm. Wow. Oh, I don't know what that was. Tilt a World Tombstone Slam. Shane is still out there. Stephanie's out there. I thought the McMahons were gone, but they're not. I forgot Stephanie needs to be there. Shane, I don't know what the hell he's doing. Oh, barbed wire to The Rock. Ugh. Hmm. Oh, that's right. Shane would turn face. So Vince would stay the heel the whole year. Oh my God. Rock bottom. Rock couldn't even go for the cover. Shane is still in the ring. Oh wow, Barry. I didn't know that. That's cool. Up here, Vince is back. Now he takes out Shane. You got all these McMahons in this match. It's just, could you imagine like Vince and Linda slapping each other in the middle of Hogan and Andre at WrestleMania 3? Like, just what the hell, man? This is so bizarre. I remember thinking like oh. Oh, see, Stephanie looks surprised, so she's not in on it. Shane out here looking like Fred Savage. Oh, Rock kicked out. It's like the Vince screws Rock 2 years in a row at WrestleMania. He was in his corner at 15 and then screws him at the next two WrestleManias. Oh, and then takes Rock out again. Now he's telling him to pin it to count again. I didn't even realize Triple H doesn't even hit the pedigree or anything. He actually pins Rock after a Vince chair shot. Well, this reconfirms what I've always kind of known, but it's been many years since I've gone back and looked at this show. This is one of the worst WrestleManias of all time. There was nothing good about this. Edge and Christian, kinda. That match kickstarted what would be an incredible trio of matches between those three teams, but it's the dumbest, like, booking. Back together, back together. And the fans are mad. I think they're not throwing shit at the ring because they're mad like they were during the NWO's formation. They're forming it because it's just shit booking. The long hug, Stephanie and Vince back together. I wouldn't want my daughter in there with all that flinging shit. Thank you, Leo. Appreciate that, my friend. Thank you for the $5 before this event is over and we leave. Just want to say I've had a blast and can't wait until the next one. I love doing these. They're so fun. It creates content and it's easy and it's fun. That's a trifecta. That's what you look for as a YouTuber. So puts us up here and it gives me opportunities to throw stuff up over on Patreon and Bald Guy and all that stuff. So it's a blast always. Okay, Rock's coming back. I was about to say we had to have like some sort of Rock retaliation before this is over. Vince struggles to take these things, but he took that one okay. And now Stephanie. So this is what WWE, I guess, is going to do to make it okay for the fans, but it wasn't enough. Rock looks mad. Why? She goes, "Why are you looking at me like that? Don't look at me like that." Oh, she's going to stomp over to him and tell him what's what. Oh. Yo. Stephanie took that like a boss. That's how you do it, girl. Good for Stephanie. She took that rock bottom full force. She might be eating a people's elbow. He just kicked 3 McMahon's asses. I will say this for the McMahons, like they sometimes took up too much TV time for sure, but they went all in, man. They never walked through anything. If they were going to be there taking up TV time, then they needed to take the bumps and the abuse and the punishment that the main roster takes, and they did. Props to them. Why did Vince McMahon strike The Rock twice? Stephanie, the show goes off the air with gutsy outfit. Stephanie wearing that on a night she's got to take some bumps. Things could have gone awry. Just ask China. Maybe she wasn't worth the pad coming off. Maybe that was the point. An update on Tito down there. He's in full pike position, still sleeping his nuts off. Yeah, we see you. Oh, yeah, you're going to get extra cute. So he started in nearly the same position that he finished. He's been doing that the entire time we've been streaming. Rolled up in a little ball. Just like Stephanie. It's like he just ate a rock bottom and a people's elbow. With the elbow pad. Jim Dotson, shout out to longtime head of security for WWE. I met him several times back in the day. He passed away. A lot of people thought he should be a wrestler. Dude was jacked. All right, here comes a little recap package here of WrestleMania. I don't know if we really want to recap this shit, do we? They're showing Ice-T, even though they didn't show him earlier. They skipped through his entire entrance. That was my favorite part. They both think they're the cat's meow. I don't know why we're recapping this, but I'm not leaving. We're going to watch it all. We're not going to half-ass this, man. If we're going to commit to watching a shit-ass WrestleMania, we're watching till the end. The chicken. Poor Pete. Shouldn't have bet. And now the main event. Big Show and Mick Foley serve no purpose at all. And Mick with that terrible dive. Just everything was a hot mess. Whoever said that earlier. That's a perfect way to describe it. Right on. Okay, I'm just making sure. Oh. Boo, look. I don't know if your Peacock is prompting you for WrestleMania 17. You want to go 4 more hours and watch this one too? I ain't got it in me. Oh, man. Thanks again for being here, guys. Let me shut that timer off because I think it ends soon. Thank you so much for being here. It was fun as always. Even though that was a bad WrestleMania, it was still really fun to watch it because I haven't seen it in years. And stay tuned in the next day or so. I'll be putting up the links to the next 3 watch alongs. We're going to do 2 next Sunday, members only during the day. We're going to do WrestleMania 14, night after WrestleMania 14, Monday Night Raw. And then that night, we're probably going to watch WrestleMania 14 unless that poll changes that's up on YouTube right now that you can vote on. But we are going to do 200 votes on that now. WrestleMania 20 still running away with it. So we're going to do WrestleMania 20 for sure. I'm just going to bump it 1 more week because that's a 4.5 hour show. And I don't want that on the same day as a members only. But WrestleMania 20 is coming up 2 weeks from tonight. And it looks like 1 week from tonight, it's going to be all WrestleMania 14. Night after Mania for members, actual WrestleMania for everyone next Sunday. No plans as of now to do a Raw reaction tomorrow unless something changes. I'll let you know. Should be up here for Dynamite on Wednesday, and you'll have other content hitting the channel because I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff right now. So I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you stay tuned. Thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe. If you're not, hit the like button on the way out the door, even though most of you have. And I will catch you all real soon. Thanks again. Have a good one.